Big one, though, of course, just moments away here in Kansas City with the Horned Frogs. The number 8 seed set to take on the 9 seed, Oklahoma Sooners here. The Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship in Kansas City. We'll hear from Jamie Dixon, the head coach of the Horned Frogs. He's going to join us next when we continue after this timeout. And a word for our local stations here on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student-athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit tcufrogclub.com to join today.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student-athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student-athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
Locker room access? Granted, we're minutes from tip-off, but you've got exclusive insight from head coach Jamie Dixon. Brian Estridge is in the locker room with the head coach right now.
We're live here at T-Mobile Arena. We're in Kansas City where the Horned Frogs are in the Big 12 tournament. The Phillips 66 Big 12 tournament starts here today for TCU against the Oklahoma Sooners. Coach, I love this time of year. I know you do as well. Your teams have had great success. You wipe the slate clean and get back out there.
Well, we got to be better. I mean, that was the message these last 2 days. And we've been saying that all year long. Defense, we know, has been our biggest challenge. And so we spent these days getting ready and getting better defensively. We've no surprises. I mean, we're trying to teach it a little different, maybe emphasize things a little bit more. But we've got to get our field goal percentage defense down lower. I mean, we kind of, because of some things we do well, we force turnovers, so we do that. We also take away the three, but the teams are scoring around the basket way too easy on us. And, you know, Ernest being out for 5 games, something to do with it. Jacoby maybe earlier, but like, you know, we've got to be better, and we're just not getting it done. And that was our emphasis. So offensively, the numbers are good. We're playing the best league in the country. We're playing best defense against the best defense, best offenses. But we've got to take a step up in postseason defensively.
Do you get a little extra hop in your step when postseason comes around?
I mean, I don't know. I think every game, I mean, I'm one of those guys, every game matters. So I don't want to even say that if I did that I do. I mean, we speak to our guys in every way about, you know, every game, 1 of 32, they all matter just the same when you're going into the tournament and so the postseason. So I don't know. In my mind, it's a constant. Every game is just as important as. We've used that phrase that, you know, this game is just as much as important as when we play Kansas. You know, when we're playing a non-conference game. So I don't know that I say that. I would be saying something different if I did.
There is a reckless abandon you'll see teams play with sometimes when postseason rolls around.
Well, we need to, and I hope it's something. I hope for us that it's we're improved and better and playing with hopefully a reckless abandon that's a positive, because there can be a reckless abandon that's a negative too as well. But we've got to be we've got to be more physical. I think that probably fits in that category. And we've got to get our younger guys to be more physical, our newer guys to be more physical. And so when I say physical, that's not fouling. That's, into drives, into in the paint, blockouts, screens, we call them wall-ups, verticality. Those things we need to be more physical in.
You and I've talked about this every year. You've been a part of some of the best, the Big East tournament, the ACC tournament. This one, for folks who aren't here today, who are listening to us on the radio, this is one you got to mark on your calendar at some point. You got to come to Kansas City, don't you?
Yeah, no, it's special. It's I don't know that anybody draws for all the games as well as this event does. It's they're here for the weekend. They turn Kansas City into and it's a basketball city anyway. So it just it's the arena's as nice as you can possibly have. It's no other major sports are playing in it. So it's built for a tournament, and Kansas City loves it.
All right, now the Frogs turn their attention to Oklahoma. The Sooners, haven't seen them in a while. We'll talk about Porter Moser's team in 2 minutes after this timeout.
WinStar World Resort proudly presents world-class entertainment. Jim Gaffigan, Jason Aldean, Stevie Nicks, James Taylor, and Kevin Hart are just a few upcoming names that will be performing live at WinStar. From comedy to country, rock to pop, Lucas Oil Live at WinStar offers something for everyone. Tickets are available at SeatGeek.com. And don't forget to play like a star at WinStar World Resort, located on I-35, 1 mile north of the Texas-Oklahoma border.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
With more joint health, there's more get out and go time. There's more time for Saturday tailgates. More time for game-winning plays. And more Horned Frog wins. With quality, personalized joint care, Texas Health can help you get more out of life and more time for the big game. That's how Texas Health cares more. Take our hip and knee health assessment or find a specialist today at yourjointhealth.com.
Rooting for the family team has become quite the tradition at Amity Bank. It's something we grew up doing, and it's something that defines who we are. We're also big fans of rooting for family businesses, because in all of our years of banking, we found that when we treat every business like family, they tend to prosper. So, if you're a family business and you need a bank, come see us today. Amity Bank. Here you grow. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A., member FDIC.
It's the last word before he takes the court. A Horned Frog Sports Network exclusive. Jamie Dixon live in the locker room right now. Here's Brian Estridge.
Back with the head coach of the Horned Frogs, Jamie Dixon. His team set to take on Oklahoma. They sit at 20-11. They're 8-10 in Big 12 play. It does feel like it's been a year since we saw them.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that. And I watched their game as soon as we started preparing for them, and it seems like a while back, and we had but we had some of the same things that we're not as good at, and they score at a high rate, so we know we got to do defensively. Ball screen coverage is going to be huge for us, and they're a little different because they can pop and play on the perimeter a little bit with their bigs, but that's going to be the number one priority in the half court transition. We don't want them to get anything going in that. They can get out and run. They've got guards that are dynamic, dangerous players, and that's going to be our number one priority.
One thing that stands out too is a pretty good shooting team on the perimeter. They shoot the three well.
Yeah, they shoot it, and those guards they're really shooting it well early in the year. And as you go through the grind of this conference, you don't get quite the same looks and rhythm, and so that's what we got to do. We got to disrupt them. We've got to make them put on the floor, not catch and shoot. But at the same time, we want to take away layups.
Yeah, a guy who kind of stands out to me that you talk about guys improving, Rivaldo Suarez for them is a guy who's come on of late.
Yeah, and they're playing him, I think, more because one of the big guys is out, and so they've kind of adjusted in that regard. But yeah, he's made some threes. He's shooting it well. He's been around, and we know that he can score the basketball. Their offense concerns us.
They've had some tough games down the stretch, a couple of overtime wins. Every game's been tight for them. It feels like that's the Big 12.
Yeah, I think we fit in that category as well, and we ended up a game ahead of them. But there's I think if we win on Saturday, we were fourth place. I mean, that's how there's not much separation. I think Houston separated themselves a little bit, maybe more than I anticipated. But there's not much difference, and that's what we're trying to get across to our guys. If we can just get a little bit better defensively, it'll be a big difference for us.
Is that the final message heading out here today?
Yeah, there's no question. The rebounding has got to be a higher number. The deflections, the steals, the turnovers we force is a good number where we're at. We can't let them score around the basket. We've got to do a better job in that.
All right, favorite time of year, go get them.
All right, thank you.
That's Jamie Dixon. His team set to take on Oklahoma. We'll get the starting lineups. Opening tip-off here from Kansas City next after this time.
Hello, everyone. This is Chauncey Franks with TCU Fellowship Christian Athletes. I want to invite you out to our TCU FCA Night of Champions banquet. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from coaches such as Kurt Sarlos, TJ Bruce, Malcolm Kelly, Mark Tomerdahl, and others. But the highlight of the night is hearing from our student athletes the impact FCA is having on their life. The banquet is April 25th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Program starts at 6:30 in the indoor practice facility. Go to tcufca.org for banquet information.
Hi, everybody. It's John Denton for the Flying T Club. You know, college athletics is an ever-changing world, and the Flying T Club is keeping TCU ahead of the curve. The Flying T Club is the TCU name, image, and likeness collective, helping TCU student-athletes make a positive impact in the Fort Worth community. Whether it's making big plays or enhancing the Flying T Club's support of local charities, TCU athletes are making a difference on and off the field. Get on the team today and make your tax-deductible donation at flyingtclub.com. Let's keep winning at flyingtclub.com.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Your pregame three-pointer. 3 keys for a Frog victory. Here, once again, is Colin Boddicker.
As TCU gets set to take on Oklahoma and Kansas City in the second round of the Big 12 tournament here in a few minutes. The first of my 3 keys to the game is, surprise, surprise, the Frogs have to limit their turnovers. In the game back in January against the Sooners, the Frogs had just 7 turnovers, their second lowest total of the season. And that helped propel them to a 9-point win. So they'll want to repeat that performance today against a depleted Sooners team who are just as desperate for a win today as the Frogs. My second key to the game is TCU needs to lock in defensively on every possession. OU will be without 30 points in the lineup today. Their leading scorer, Javian McCullum, their 4th leading scorer, Rivaldo Suarez, and their 6th leading scorer, John Hughley, all out for the Sooners. The Frogs will need to quickly identify who Oklahoma will be looking to for points today and shut that person down. TCU is certainly capable of doing just that and will be going with a bigger and arguably better defensive starting five, with Chuck O'Bannon getting the nod today over Avery Anderson. And finally, my last key to the game is for TCU to keep up the great team shooting from three-point land. The Frogs lead the conference shooting 39% from downtown and have made 27 of their last 59 over the last 3 games, good for 46%. The Frogs have 7 players with at least 19 made threes on the year, so it can be different guys making shots any given game. But look for Trey Tennyson to get going off the bench today for the Frogs and provide the big scoring punch that Chuck O'Bannon has been giving the Frogs the past few games off the bench. They'll need it to get by Oklahoma this afternoon and advance to play number 1 Houston tomorrow in the Big 12 tournament quarterfinals. So that'll do it for my opening three-pointer. We'll be right back with the starting lineups and the opening tip from the second round game of the Big 12 tournament between the TCU Horned Frogs and the Oklahoma Sooners after this timeout and a message from Orange Theory Fitness.
Orange Theory, let's turn it up.
Are you ready for the life-changing fitness experience that helps you redefine your limits? You are faster here, you are stronger here, and you get more results here. Because here, you have the coaches, community, and group energy coming together to push you forward every class with scientifically designed full-body workouts and technology to track your results and prove you're improving. Welcome to Orange Theory Fitness. Book a free workout today at orangetheory.com. See studio for details.
Every child deserves healthcare designed just for them, and Cook Children's offers just that. They're more than just a healthcare system. They're your friends, your neighbors, and their parents too. So they see the world through your eyes. They see what you're going through. By working together, they can help your child get the best care and support possible. Find a doctor near you at cookchildrens.org.
There are those who wait for spring, and then there are Cadillac drivers who boldly inspire spring's arrival in stunning sedans poised to outrun winter, or in stylish SUVs. Bringing together design and performance with such exuberance, they make every day feel like that first warm day of the year. So this spring, don't wait. Be among those who inspire boldness in bloom at the Cadillac Move Up sales event. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today.
Dallas-Fort Worth Roofing Company. Lon Smith Roofing is one of America's top 25 roofing companies and has been serving the DFW Metroplex for nearly 50 years. From our humble Fort Worth beginnings in 1974, we have grown our company with the simple formula of a commitment to excellence. Our founder, Lon Smith, believed that no matter how good we are, we can always do better. Lon Smith Roofing is committed to providing the finest Fort Worth and Dallas roofing products and the most trusted service in the industry.
The Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
44 seconds left. Miles bounces. Miller on the dribble. In the lane. Emmanuel turn around. Got it! And a foul! Drawn to the rim with the left hand. Missed it. Coles with a follow rebound. Jacoby in traffic. Hops off the glass. He got it! Coles looking down low for court. Feeds it to Xavier with the left hand. Got it! And a foul.
TCU basketball is on the air. Here's Brian Estridge.
Welcome into the Big 12 Championship here in Kansas City. T-Mobile Center, site of this one. And the Horned Frogs getting set to take on the Oklahoma Sooners right now. BYU won the earlier matchup here, 87-73. BYU knocked off Central Florida, so that means the Cougars advance. They'll take on the number 4 seed, Texas Tech, tomorrow. The winner of this game gets the number 1 seed, the Houston Cougars. That'll be another 2 o'clock tip-off tomorrow. And tomorrow night, you got the winner of later on here, Kansas State, the 10 seed, takes on Texas. The winner of that one will advance to take on Iowa State. And Kansas will take on Cincinnati. The winner of that one gets the Baylor Bears. So Baylor, Iowa State, Houston, and Texas Tech have until tomorrow to play their first game. Horned Frogs here in their first one against Oklahoma, a team now that we mentioned is down 3 players. Sooners without John Hughley, the big 6'10 center, is out with a knee injury. Davion McCullum is out with a shoulder. He's a 6'2 junior guard. And the Rivaldo Suarez, 6'6 forward, is out with an ankle injury. So big losses here for the Sooners. Fran Fraschillo was on the pregame show with us earlier, and he talked about the fact, though, that this is a team, though, that's going to still play hard, no matter who's out there. That's the one thing. Porter Moser was a good coach. We saw the success that he had at Loyola Chicago. So you're going to see, as you mentioned some young guys who will get minutes that they haven't gotten this year. But this is not a team that's going to roll over and say, okay, this season's over with. They're fighting for postseason as well.
Yeah, it's a big wild card, though, not knowing who's going to get the extra minutes, and it may be just kind of a feel game for Porter Moser, kind of go with a hot hand, but somebody could come in and take advantage of their opportunity that they might not have really had throughout the course of this season, and maybe playing 5-10 minutes a game. Now they're going to get maybe 25 or even 30 minutes tonight, and you might see somebody go put a 20 spot up on there that could be a career high.
Johnny Dawkins' team fell earlier, as we mentioned, to BYU, and I think Johnny Dawkins, the head coach of UCF, is in the interview room. Let's take a quick listen and see what Coach Dawkins has to say.
We were trying to contain those threes, and you give them credit. They were able to find openings and more importantly, knock down shots, even under pressure. Very good basketball team. I think, Mark has done a really good job with his group this year. And for us, I think we got to be better in what we do in execution, defensively. I thought we gave up too many threes. I thought we gave up too many free throws, two areas that we'd emphasized that we wanted to kind of contain.
If you've got a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you, and please give us your name and affiliation.
This is Johnny Dawkins, the head coach of Central Florida, taking some questions here post-game as his team fell to BYU 87-73. We're listening in.
You didn't have the bad start, but you got it to 3 in the second half with about 13 minutes to go. What happened at that point? I think BYU won a 12-0 run at that point.
Yeah, 10-0, I believe, for sure, but maybe 12. Yeah, we got it. We did a good job of coming back. We settled in. I thought we settled into the game. We started really emphasizing, getting stops, not giving them 3 balls, and that was working for us. But then we ended up fouling. Putting them on the line. They saw the ball going from the free throw line. Then we had a couple, miscues defensively, a couple blown assignments. They were able to get back shooting some threes. And they were able to regain the momentum at that point.
Go ahead in the front row.
This is Central Florida head coach Johnny Dawkins post-game. His team lost at BYU. Let's listen in.
In the second half, what second half adjustments did you make to really get going and rally this comeback here tonight?
I was just taking my open looks. I felt it late in the first half, and it just carried over into the second half.
That's Central Florida's post-game press conference here. They fall 87-73 to the Golden Knights. BYU wins. They advance. They'll take on Texas Tech tomorrow here. Round 3 action of the Big 12 championships. Right now, though, it's round 2. The Horned Frogs and the Oklahoma Sooners. Sooners at 20-11. 8-10 in Big 12 play. Horned Frogs sit at 20-11. They're 9-9 in Big 12 action. Frogs for the 8th seed. Oklahoma was the 9th seed. These are the games, too. Those 8-9s, Colin, that go either way. These are some of the best games in March Madness.
Oh, no question, because in these games, especially in our league here in the Big 12 with 14 teams, these are pretty evenly matched teams as far as record goes within conference. And if you look at the net rankings, too, TCU and Oklahoma are bumped right up against each other in the low 40s right now. So very complementary teams to each other, and it's going to be a dogfight. Even with OU having a few players out there, I think it's going to be a dogfight because both teams really need this extra win on the resume to kind of solidify their place in the NCAA tournament.
One other note that I want you to make note of. We're in the middle of Ramadan. Issam Mustafa observes Ramadan. As a devout Muslim, Issam Mustafa will not have drink or food during the daylight hours. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you go back and you look at Issam Mustafa's time at Coastal Carolina during Ramadan, had some of his best basketball games.
I was about to ask if he did, because sometimes I think you can get that mental clarity and focus and really do some amazing things.
But Issam Mustafa will be observing Ramadan while here in Kansas City with the Horned Frogs. Time now for the starting lineups for both ball clubs. And let's start with Oklahoma under Porter Moser, the head coach in his 3rd year at OU. 54 wins, 44 losses. He's 347 and 286 all time. He's had to shuffle his lineup here today with 3 injured Sooners. So he's going to go with a 3-guard lineup that looks like this. LaTre Darthur is a 6'4 senior out of Denton, played at Geyer High School. He knows Jacoby Coles quite well. He averages 6.5 points and 2 rebounds a ball game. Joining him will be Otega Owe. He averages 11 points and 4 boards. He's a 6'4 sophomore from Newark, New Jersey. Miles Uzan is a 6'4" sophomore out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He averages 9 points and 3.5 boards. That's your 3 guards. All right, 2 forwards in this lineup. Sam Goodwin, a 6'10" senior out of Ada, Oklahoma, transfer from Wofford, 7 points and 5 rebounds. And then Jalen Moore, who averages 11 points and 7 rebounds, a 6'7" junior out of Birmingham, Alabama. No John Hughley, no Javid McCullum, no Rivaldo Suarez. As we mentioned, that's about 30 points and about 11 rebounds that they're out right now is this lineup for Oklahoma. They're 20-11, 8-10 in Big 12 play. They've lost 5 of the last 6. TCU, on the other hand, 20-11, they're 9-9 in Big 12 action. And a shuffle of the starting lineup here, as you're going to see a new name for the first time all the year in the lineup. Jameer Nelson starts at the point, 6'2" senior out of Haverford, Pennsylvania, averaging 11 points and 3 rebounds a ball game. Continues to play well down the stretch. The last 3 games, he's averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and just 4 turnovers over the last 3 games for Jameer Nelson. The 2 guard will be Micah Peavy, a 6'8" senior out of Duncanville, 11 points and 5 rebounds a ball game. Chuck O'Bannon gets his first start of the season. 6'7" senior out of Las Vegas, played at Bishop Gorman High School, 6 points and 2 rebounds a ball game. And Colin, he's starting because he deserves it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, especially over the last 3 games where he's averaged 10 points, shot over 50% from the floor, 54% from three-point land. He's a better defender and makes the defense better overall for TCU when he's on the floor.
Emmanuel Miller leads his team in scoring, 16 points and 6 rebounds. He's a second-team All-Big 12 performer. He gets the start as well. And then Ernest Uday in the middle, 6'11", 260, the sophomore out of Orlando, 4 points and 5 rebounds for Ernest Uday. That's your 5 for Jamie Dixon. Jamie, of course, in his 21st year, 487 wins, 231 losses at TCU. Second all-time in wins now is Jamie Dixon at 159 and 108. Oklahoma leads this series with 28 wins. The Frogs have 8 in Big 12 action. It's Oklahoma 17-7. The Frogs, though, have put together a good stretch here, including 3 of the last 4. Won the last one 80-71 did TCU. The only other time these 2 teams have met in the Big 12 tournament was on March 8th of 2017. The Frogs won that one 82-63 over a good Lon Kruger team, coach team.
Pretty solid TCU team that year as well,
yes,
making the tournament that year.
All right, ready to get this one underway. Keith Kimball, Jeb Hartness, Brett Smith, 3 officials for this one assigned by the Big 12. Jeb Hartness will toss it into the air. The Horned Frogs are the home team as the 8th seed. They're in the white uniforms with the purple trim, Sooners. And they're crimson and cream here for this one. Ready to get it underway. Glad you've joined us here. Matinee edition of college basketball for you today. Ernest Uday has won 22 of the last 26 tips. He'll be jumping center for the Horned Frogs. It looks like he's going to jump against Sam Goodwin. Frogs are going to move left to right to start this ball game. Jeb Hartness steps into the circle. Godwin and Uday are there. The tap. Uday tips it. Frogs control it. O'Bannon claims it. Gives it to Jameer Nelson. Frogs will work left to right with it. Nelson. Right-hand side, it goes Emmanuel Miller. Miller turns and faces here on Jalen Moore. To the free throw line, he takes him into the paint. Spins a couple of times. Bump once, bump twice. Put it up short. Rebound taken out of there by Jalen Moore.
Yeah, I think the bump that Miller initiated there knocked himself off balance. Ends up making the shot just a little short. Had a good look, though.
Uzan gives it up. Moore catches now between the circles. Hands it off this time to Uzan. Godwin's got it. Transfer from Wofford. Right-hand side, it goes Oway. Feed it off down low. Strong move to the rim of the foul. Here's Jalen Moore with a nice move. And an early foul here going to be whistled on the Horned Frogs. And this one is going to be on Chuck O'Bannon, his first.
So initially here, Godwin at the high post really hurt the Frogs early in that game in Fort Worth back in January. And right out of the gate here, they go right back to him at the high post. The Frogs figured it out in that game. But early on here, that's the point of attack here for OU. It's exactly what the game plan was back in Fort Worth.
Moore's an 80% free throw shooting. He misses the first one. The junior out of Birmingham, Alabama, is a transfer from Georgia Tech. Second effort here for Jalen Moore. Makes 1 of 2. Sooners with the early lead. 35 seconds into this game. 1-0 they have. Jameer Nelson brings it up. Nelson with a left-handed dribble, crosses to between the circles now. Got Ortega on his back in a foul here. That's going to be whistled on Ortega Owe. And that'll be his first.
Owe's looking like he could be one of the players that will try to shoulder the scoring load today for them. So keep an eye on that first foul here early in this game.
Comes in averaging 11 points. Here's Nelson working into the paint. Finds O'Bannon, corner left for three. Chuck. Postseason Chuck with a three to open the scoring, and the Horned Frogs lead it. Quickly on the other end, Uday slaps it away on the attempt to Godwin. And back it comes down to Jameer Nelson.
Yeah, nice job by Uday getting back on defense there.
O'Bannon has it on the left wing. Chuck looks out front. Now left-hand side, it goes to Micah Peavy. Peavy works between the circles. Back it goes left-hand wing down to Jameer Nelson. Emmanuel Miller out front. O'Bannon again for three. That one doesn't go, and it's going to go out of bounds.
That kind of felt like a heat check early in the game. You know, he switches the first one there. But, nice to see Chuck get that first one to go down, because when he does, he usually ends up pouring them in.
And I like him aggressive offensively.
No question about it. He's been shooting the ball really well the last three games as well.
Can score in bunches. Can Chuck O'Bannon out front with it is Uzan. Uzan gets it on a handoff from Godwin. Kicks it off the corner left now to Moore. Was he standing on the end line? He was. Turns it back over to TCU. Frogs lead 3-1. Turnover here by Oklahoma gives it back to the Horned Frogs. 18:23 to play. And the thing about Chuck, too, he talks about it. If I keep my elbow in, I'm going to make it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a confident shooter. There's no doubt about it.
Here's Peavy at the left-hand side, entering now to Emmanuel Miller. Miller sends across court. O'Bannon again fires a jumper. That one goes. Another three for Chuck O'Bannon. 2 out of 3 to start. Chucky baby in the house, and the Horned Frogs lead at 6-1.
Yeah, and a great find by Miller, too, making the cross-court pass from the mid-post area there to a wide-open O'Bannon who steps into a shot. Easier to make those shots inside out.
Out of the top with it is Godwin. Godwin holds. Working on Uday. Gives it up now to Uzan. Uzan to the left-hand wing. Uday slapped it away, and they say knocked it out of bounds. And Ernest Uday is going to stay with Oklahoma with 11 on the shot clock. 17:45 to play here in this first half. Pretty good defense here by the Frogs.
I tell you, Ernest Uday's got some of the fastest hands in the league, let alone from the post position. These guards think they can get by him, and he just slots the ball away all the time.
He continues to get better. Here's a jumper out of the top over Uday that doesn't go. Rebound out of Godwin. Godwin grabs it. Darthur missed it. Back out top. It'll go for three, and that one counts for Uzan. Uzan scores it. It's a 2-point TCU lead at 6-4.
Yeah, you want to shut down that offensive rebounding for Oklahoma. Don't give them second opportunities. Inside-out passes off offensive rebounds tend to be better percentage makes.
Here's Nelson with it. Jameer to the free throw line. Jameer works it into the lane, forces one up, scores it, and is fouled. Darthur commits the foul. Nice job there by Jameer Nelson. That's where he's at his best. Scores there, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He really wanted to get to that left hand and got shut down, but it forced him to spin back to the middle, which created the contact, and he flips it up there and ends up with an and-one opportunity here.
Darthur's got about 4 inches on it, but Jameer's got such a vertical off of 2 feet.
Oh, he's really tough, too. He's taken the most fouls on anybody on the team this year, and you can see why. He does a really nice job getting the ball into the paint there.
Yeah, knocks in the free throw. 9-4 right now. TCU leads at 17-13 to play. Out front with it is Owe. Owe gives it now Darthur. Darthur slapped away. Here's steal for Nelson. Bounce in the forecourt. Here comes O'Bannon, and he's bumped. They say it's out of bounds off of OU. A lot of contact there. I was worried about O'Bannon's shoulder.
I mean, that's unbelievable that is not a foul.
Now, one of the issues was Brett Smith couldn't keep up. He was behind the play. So.
Yeah, still, I mean, OU didn't knock the ball out of bounds. O'Bannon knocked the ball out of bounds. That's the other thing.
That may have just been, okay, I'm not going to call the foul.
Yeah, but I don't like the way that can't be the way that you're going to call the game. If you're going to let away contact like that go, like, Frogs need to adjust defensively and make sure that they're making contact too.
Here's Emmanuel Miller backing it in. E-Man with a right hand flip, missed it, rebound taken out of there by Moore.
Yeah, just unfortunate there. A little too strong, hits the back iron, pops right out.
Taylor Moore back the other way, has it between the circles, working in traffic, gives it up now to Godwin. Godwin, right hand side will go here. Uzan feeds it off. Godwin to the lane, steps through with the left hand, spins it and scores.
Yeah, nice move by Godwin. Good patience too, because he knew he had Nelson on him down there on the block. Was able to get to that left hand and flip it up off the glass. TCU's got a nice little pep in their step right now on defense, though.
9:10 15-6. Horned Frogs by 3. Jameer left alone for 3. That one doesn't go. O'Bannon with the offensive rebound. Able to work it over to Peavy. Tries to save it now to Nelson. It does. Here's Miller out front for 3. E-Man scores. That one to the Frogs lead 12-6.
Extra possession there. Chuck O'Bannon coming up with that offensive rebound, chasing it, saving it from going out of bounds. One extra pass, and boom, wide open 3 for Emmanuel Miller.
16 minutes to play here this first half. Frogs are going to get 4 subs into the next dead ball. Here's Godwin. Lost the handle on it. Nelson rips it away. Miller in the forward court. Off it comes Peavy. Peavy for 3 for the left wing. That one's short. Tip followed by Miller's no good, but a foul here. They're going to whistle Uzan underneath Emmanuel Miller. It'll stay with the Horned Frogs as TCU early on doubling up Oklahoma with 15:48 to go. Chuck O'Bannon's line, 6 points and 2 of 3 shooting from behind the arc. Big offensive rebound as well. He got it done in his first 4 minutes as a starter. You think to yourself, where has that been? TCU leads it 12-6 over Oklahoma. Back we come after this timeout. And a word from Albertsons.
Tom Thumb is making shopping and saving easier than ever. Check out Tom Thumb for You in our mobile app where you can shop for groceries online and save over $300 weekly with digital coupons all in one place. Plus, earn rewards every time you shop in-store or online and redeem for free groceries or gas savings. Download the Tom Thumb app or go to TomThumb.com to start saving today. Tom Thumb, DFW's grocer since 1948.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
Top of the 7th looks like a pitching change as they've set up for a corner kick. The 2 black belts have entered the mat, and the slider is low and away. He heads the ball to midfield. This is quite a kumite. Here comes the roundhouse. Has it got enough gas to get out of here? Unbelievable! They've bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Kick savings pitch karate.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
With more joint health, there's more get out and go time. There's more time for Saturday tailgates. More time for game-winning plays. And more Horned Frog wins. With quality, personalized joint care, Texas Health can help you get more out of life and more time for the big game. That's how Texas Health cares more. Take our hip and knee health assessment or find a specialist today at yourjointhealth.com.
15:48 to play here in this first half. The Horned Frogs doubling up Oklahoma 12-6 right now. TCU leads it. Brian Eskridge, Colin Boddicker with you here courtside. T-Mobile Center, Kansas City, side of this one, the Big 12 championship. Horned Frogs in action here today in basketball. Baseball team in action against DBU last night. Got the win to the 8th-ranked Horned Frogs. They got Oklahoma at home. Speaking of OU, this weekend for Kirk Sarlos' team. Right now, though, got some basketball action they got to take care of. Does TCU leading at 12-6 here. What do you see early on, Colin?
Early on, I like TCU's aggressiveness defensively. OU's only taken 3 attempts from the floor, but they've got 4 turnovers, and you got to attribute that to TCU's aggressiveness defensively. It's turning out to go the other way, get only 3 points off turnovers TCU, but they've done a really nice job getting down the floor here after those turnovers.
Energy has been good.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. You can see that an extra pep in the step we talked about during the break. You get Jameer Nelson diving on the floor for a loose ball, pushing the ball down the floor. PV just takes a three-pointer on the wing there, knowing that Miller's going to be there on the backside for an offensive rebound opportunity. Sure enough, he gets fouled. Now Miller's going to the line for 2 shots here.
Big hello to Matt Lewis, who's the director of player personnel for TCU football. Spring break. What does he do? He goes to Edinburgh, Scotland. He's listening online. Thank you, Matt, for that. Emmanuel Miller makes that first free throw. Told him for spring break, you and I were going to make our way down to Alvarado. He went to Scotland.
In Scotland, it's about time for a pint or two, I think.
Exactly. Miller makes a second. 14-6 right now. Horned Frogs by 8. 15:48 to play here in this first half. Oklahoma with the basketball. Uzan brings it up. He's got Avery Anderson on. Avery's in along with Jacoby Coles, Xavier Cork, and Trey Tennyson. They join Emmanuel Miller. Miller, the lone starter, still on the floor right now. Uzan, left-hand side. Off it comes now to Northweather, who's in for the first time. Luke Northweather's 6'11 freshman out of Jefferson City. Right-hand side, Moore misses. Northweather had the rebound and a hold here. This one's going to be on Xavier Cork, and that's a good call by Keith Kimball, the official.
Cork, millisecond late there, getting in position to box out. Jacoby Coles is all over Moore here on the perimeter, though. He's not going to want to let him catch and shoot out here on the three-point line.
Max Kleinschek is into the lineup. The transfer from Houston Christian. Keep your eye on him. Dorthard catches in the left-hand corner, fires at 2. No, they're going to give credit for 3. Three-pointer and scores that one. It makes it 14-9.
Yeah, that was a good shot, too. He came off that knowing that he was going to get a look. Sometimes that confidence, knowing you're going to shoot the ball, even with a guy in your face, it could be the difference.
Here's Miller stepping through. May have gotten away with an extra step. He mishandled the basketball and scores this one over Northweather. Does Emmanuel Miller, 16-9.
I think that's exactly right. And TCU loses Kleinschek right here in transition. Fortunately, he misses the wide open 3 here, though.
Because he can knock him down from behind the arc. And Kleinschek, he shoots 35% from back there. Here's Tennyson from the elbow. Trey, foul. Jumper doesn't go, but he's fouled here by Luke Northweather, who was the player of the year in the state of Missouri. Back in 2022, played at Blair Oaks High School in Jefferson City. Sends Trey Tennyson to the free throw line now.
I really like that Tennyson didn't settle for that three-pointer right there out of the gate and put it on the deck. Gets to a 15-foot pull-up, ends up on the free throw line here, drawing the foul. See the ball go through. Of course, the last time we played, TCU played Oklahoma, Tennyson had a tough outing, 0 for 8 from the floor and 0 for 6 from three-point land.
Trey here instead starts with a pair of free throws, so a good sign. And TCU now leading at 18-9 on Oklahoma with 14:47 to go. Uzan with it out front, crosses it over, working on Avery Anderson, takes it across the timeline. Uzan, right-hand side, working on Xavier Cork, sends it cross court now. Back front, it comes here to Northweather for the jumper that's off the mark. Tennyson with a rebound.
Yeah, Frog's fortunate there, got a little mix-up there defensively.
Tennyson leaves it off Miller, corner right, Coles for 3. Jacoby, score that. Frogs hot here early on. Porter Moser with a timeout. TCU up 21-9.
Yeah, Miller with another great find. He's really seeing the floor well right now, creating plays for his teammates. One bounce on the deck, going to the basket, draws all the defense, kicks out to wide open Coles for knockdown 3.
Coles, another one like Chuck O'Bannon. You love how efficient he is offensively. Makes the most of his minutes. Catch and shoot 3 from the corner. Puts TCU up 21-9 right now over the Oklahoma Sooners. Porter Moser has to take the early timeout.
Yeah, great start for the Frogs. Shooting the ball well. 4 out of 7 from three-point land already in this game. But probably the biggest stat for TCU thus far, 0 turnovers to 4 from Oklahoma. Taking care of the ball, getting opportunities on the offensive end.
14:21 to go here in this first half. 7 from Emmanuel Miller to lead the Horned Frogs here early. 6 from Chuck O'Bannon. Peavy's checking back into the lineup alone. So you've got Peavy as the lone starter on the floor right now. Anderson, Tennyson, Coles, Peavy, and Cork.
Oh, you see that, the depth of TCU on a 7-0 run here with the majority of this being bench players as well for this game. So it's a luxury that most coaches don't have, and TCU and Coach Jamie Dixon is very fortunate to have 10 guys that can really go for them.
Well, you got to believe they're going to run out Oklahoma knowing that they're 3 men down.
No question about it. You're going to got guys in the game that haven't played a lot all season long for Oklahoma.
A little pressure to backcourt for TCU. Uzan has it at the right wing, now to Moore. Moore at the elbow, working on Coles, puts it on the deck, takes it strong to the rim, can't score, and the rebound taken out of there by Peavy. Peavy in the forecourt, now to Coles down the right-hand alley. Out top it goes Peavy. Peavy hesitates, working on Moore, left-hand wing, it'll go to Avery Anderson. Anderson bumped out front, got to keep it alive. Avery always plays well against the Sooners. He's got it out front now with 13:48 to play. The transfer from Oklahoma State. Avery bounces, high post catch here now to Coles. Turns and faces, fires a jumper, doesn't get it to go. Jamie Dixon didn't like the shot. He didn't like it before it left Coles' hands.
Yeah, Coles is looking at the referee, Keith Kimball, thought he got hit on the elbow there.
21-9. Frogs lead, 13:31 to go. Uzan with it out front, working on Xavier Court. Takes it into the paint, does Uzan. Sends it off in the corner here for a jumper that goes. That one from Darthard. The Sooners respond out of the timeout, 21-12 now.
There's a guy taking advantage of his opportunity here. He's played in every game, but one and started a couple, but he's going to get extra minutes tonight. He's already knocked down 2 threes.
Court gives it up to Peavy. Right-hand side, it goes now to Coles. Back between the circles, Tennyson. Back Coles again. Coles is matched up on Jalen Moore. Cork's going to get it. 2 dribbles, that's his limit. Right-hand side now to Peavy. Steps through into the lane, off the glass, and score. That was strong move to Micah Peavy.
Yeah, you got to like Peavy's putting his head down, really taking it hard to the basket here. Nice finish there.
11-point TCU lead, 23-12, 12:47 to go this first half. Uzan's got it out front. Cork's on him. Send it off in the corner now. Darthard into Tennyson. Step back, thought about the 3 instead in front. It goes now to Kleinschek. Kleinschek gives it back up to Uzan. 8 on the shot clock. Uzan 3 over Coles. Doesn't get that one. No one there but Trey Tennyson for the rebound for the Frogs. Pushes now to Anderson. Anderson corner right. Peavy thought about it. Hesitates. Fires a jumper and scores it. Another 3-pointer here for TCU. And the Frogs up 14, 26-12 with 12:15 to play.
Yeah, everybody getting the act for the Frogs right there. I thought Anderson hesitated a little bit getting Peavy that pass on the wing, but Peavy was ready to catch and shoot. Knocks down another one for the Frogs.
Here's Darthard out of the top, backs it up on Trey Tennyson, works between the circles. Darthard now keeps his dribble, kicks it right-hand side. Corner right, they go. Kleinschek for 3, and he scores that one with the rainbow archer. From the corner, the senior out of Slovenia with a 3 to answer an 11-point ball game at 26-15.
Yeah, only 69 minutes played all season for him, but you don't want him to get going because he's capable.
Averaged 15 points a game at Houston Christian last year. A foul here on the perimeter. Darthard reaches in on Avery Anderson, I think. No, they're going to call it away from the ball here. And this one's going to be whistled on Kleinschek. That's going to be his first away from the ball. 11:41 to go. Frogs will have possession of it when we get back. 26-15 right now. TCU leads it by 11. All the Sooners back after this local timeout on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit tcufrogclub.com to join today.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
11:41 left here in this opening half. Horned Frogs lead at 26-15 right now on Oklahoma. Frogs 5 of 8 from behind the arc. That's been the storyline here early. And a perfect 5 of 5 for the free throw line as well. TCU yet to turn the ball over. 6 team assists on those 8 made buckets. It's all positive right now, Colin.
Yeah, no doubt about it, especially that big goose egg on the 2 turnovers. TCU obviously has gone through some spells at points where they turn the ball over, a little careless with the ball at times, but they had the second fewest turnovers in a game against this same Oklahoma team back in January with only 7. The low on the season was only 6. So, maybe they're a little confidence coming into this game. Hopefully try to get that number even lower this time.
Yeah, put that in perspective. Oklahoma only forces 11 turnovers a game by opponents. That's 242nd in the country. So, it's not a defense that forces turnovers. So, Frogs need to take advantage of it, and so far they have.
Yeah, that means you're not going to have any kind of self-inflicted wounds and then just make really bad passes. They're going to allow you to pass around the perimeter, and they're not really reaching in trying to get steals as often. So, just don't have any travels. Make sure your footwork's good and be crisp on your passes. Don't have too long of a pass, and TCU's done that so far. Done a really nice job finding wide open shooters on the three-point line.
No SIWs, right? Self-inflicted wounds.
No, those are bad.
Men's tennis is in action. Second-ranked David Rodides, the Fighting Rodides, today at UCLA. Friday at USC. Sunday at Pepperdine. A little California road trip over spring break. I like that.
Come back with a little SPF left over in the bottle. It'd be good.
So I'd like to come back as a tennis player. Inbounds comes Jameer Nelson out of Micah Peavy. Peavy out front here to Tennyson. 11:35 to go. 26-15 right now. Horned Frogs lead it by 11. Out front, Nelson kicks it left-hand side. Tennyson, that's a deep three. That one doesn't go for him. Rebound ripped out of there, taken out of there by Moore for Oklahoma. They push with a used hand in the forecourt with it now.
Right. They set that play up trying to get him a shot. I just kind of want him just a little bit closer. 10 feet behind the three-point line is a deep three that early in shot clock.
Oh, wait, back into the lineup. He's got Jacoby Coles on him. Godwin's back in as well. Give to Uzan. Uzan looks right. Instead, free throw line. Godwin. Extra pass down low. More bump. Are going to count the bucket. Keith Kimball will let it continue. The foul here on Jameer Nelson. He climbed underneath Jalen Moore. And they're going to give Moore credit for the bucket and an opportunity for a three-point play now with 11:05 to play in the half.
Boy, Nelson did everything he could to get back in the play, and it sure looked, we're seeing the replay here now. The contact comes up as he's gathering going up. That's probably a good call. Count the bucket here, and a three-point opportunity for Moore.
80% free throw shooter on the year is Jalen Moore. Moore in this ball game misses that free throw. Now he's 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Under 11 minutes to go. Nelson brings it up. Emmanuel Miller down Chuck O'Bannon. Right-hand side, it goes Micah Peavy. Peavy looked right for Emmanuel Miller. Instead, keeps him, sends it off to Chuck O'Bannon, who's got 2 threes in this game. O'Bannon back out front. Nelson, now Miller. Right side, they go Peavy again. Peavy in traffic. Free throw line blocked out of there by Godwin. The rebound to Peavy, and the Frogs keep 4 on the shot clock. Nelson for 3 out front. Didn't get it. Uday had it, lost it. Godwin comes up with it. Missed opportunity there.
Yeah, Uday was holding off Godwin there for a rebound with his left hand, so he couldn't bring it up to gather the rebound with the other hand.
3 misses on the other end for Jalen Moore. The Frogs push with Miller. Now Peavy out front. Micah gets it to Jameer Nelson, the point guard. Nelson gets a screen from Uday. Tried the little high-low action, and Uday couldn't run it down.
Yeah, Godwin was pushing him out of bounds and directing him the wrong way.
They've seen that coming, right? Uzan here leaves it off now to Godwin. Godwin's going to get it back now to Uzan. 10 minutes left in this first half. Uzan over Uday, feeds Godwin. Godwin had it knocked away, loose on the floor, tied up. Somebody's got to call something here. Come on. Brett Smith says finally a jump ball. It'll be Oklahoma's ball with 9:56 left in the half. Darther's going to get back into the Sooner lineup. He's going to check in for Miles Uzan.
Frogs want to keep up this defensive pressure. Not let Oklahoma hang around in this game. Once you get a good lead, you want to keep it the whole game here.
Lines check, inbounds, Darther, left-hand corner. Frogs have a double team there, but couldn't close it out. Here's Godwin. Got to use that sideline to your advantage. You had him in the corner, Colin. Here's Owe. In traffic. 1 on the shot clock. Doesn't get it off. No, they say goes out of bounds off of Oklahoma first before the shot clock expired. TCU will get it with 9:43 left.
Yeah, it was 0.1 left anyway, so OU would have been in trouble there anyway on that shot clock. But on that, there's a great opportunity for a trap there. Just Miller was going to be a hair late getting over to take Godwin away.
Nelson working between the circles. Jameer gives it off to Peavy. Back it goes now to Emmanuel Miller. Miller backing it into the paint. Had it knocked away. Darther comes out of there with it. Sooners on the run. Over. Nelson missed the layup. Miller claims a rebound now for TCU.
Opportunity for TCU to run here a little bit.
Nelson pushes now. Has Godwin on him. Loses him to the rim. Flips it up and draws contact from Sam Godwin. Jameer Nelson goes back to the free throw line now for TCU.
But he changed directions so many times on that in and out dribble, like 2 double in and out dribble there from Nelson. Like, I can't imagine trying to have to guard that. I would just hack him, put him on the line. Just what Godwin did. There's not much else he can do. Otherwise, you're going to have a layup.
He looked like you riding those go-karts on the north side of Fort Worth. Nelson, free throw line. First one's good.
I think that's called drifting.
Second free throw to come here for Jameer Nelson. Senior out of Pennsylvania, the transfer. 72% free throw shooter makes them both there and hit. That's a good sign because his free throw percentage has been slipping a bit.
Yeah, you want to keep that up there at least over the 70 mark.
9:13 left in the half. Frogs by 11.
TCU's actually been very good the last month or so from the free throw line as a team, getting better and better as the season's gone on.
Ryan's works with it out front, gives it up on the free throw line to Godwin. Godwin puts it on the floor on Uday, spins with the left hand, draws contact on Ernest Uday, and a foul here on the big fella. Jamie Dixon reminds Ernest that Godwin is always going to go back left. He's left-handed, is Sam Godwin, and he favors it heavily.
Yeah, no question. He does a really nice job showing the ball, some pump fakes, pivots back around. Kind of feel like it was almost like a old school kind of game. A lot of ball fakes, step throughs.
I might pay to see a one-on-one with Godwin and Mustafa.
Oh, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Mustafa, obviously, we've talked about it a lot. He's got some polished moves in the post as well.
Godwin misses a free throw. A couple of substitutions now for Oklahoma. Into the lineup comes Caden Cooper, highly thought of freshman for the first time. Cooper out of Ada, Oklahoma. Second free throw is good. 10-point ball game now, 28-18.
Yeah, another guy you're not sure exactly what you're going to get. Not a lot of tape on him. Only 54 minutes played on the entire season so far.
Here's Nelson out front. Trey Tennyson back into the TCU lineup. Here's Nelson working his way into Godwin. Flipped it, missed him. Uday, what an effort to get his hand on that ball, but can't grab the rebound. The Sooners run out of there with it now. Quickly in the forecourt. They keep all the way to the rim, laying up and score does Oweh. And a timeout taken by Jamie Dixon. Jamie Dixon not happy. He wanted Jameer Nelson back on defense. He wasn't there, and it ends up being an easy deuce for the Sooners.
Well, you got when you're the first one back, if they're pushing the ball down the floor, you got to take the basket first. You can't run out to your guy. So he was up here picking at the ball instead of hustling back on defense just to play straight up D, because the Frogs putting Oklahoma in a half-court offense and playing straight up D have been dominant early in this game. Oklahoma looking to run, trying to create some easy opportunities as they're not don't have their normal personnel in here.
Luxor Staffing, DFW's premier staffing agency, standing by ready to help you find the right employees, homegrown and deeply rooted in the TCU community. Luxor Staffing has 10 local, fully bilingual recruiting offices that can help with your staffing needs anywhere in North Texas. Visit them online today at luxorstaffing.com. Learn more about how they do staffing right. Frogs lead is 8. TCU's led by as many as 14 in this one. They've gone over the last 4. In fact, they haven't scored a field goal in the last 3:49 has TCU.
Yeah, after starting off with a really hot start as well, Frogs are going to look to get a nice offensive set here and get somebody a bucket.
Uday's out of the lineup. Cork's in. Emmanuel Miller, Chuck O'Bannon along with Jameer Nelson and Trey Tennyson, 5 on the floor here for TCU. (28-20), 8:31 to go. Nelson with it out front. Jameer gives it up to Xavier Cork. Cork right-hand side, it goes Tennyson. Tennyson bounces right now to Xavier Cork. Cork working on Godwin. Looked at Nelson. Instead out top, it'll go now to O'Bannon. O'Bannon bumped on the perimeter. Hands to Nelson. 6 on the shot clock. Nelson off it goes Tennyson. Tennyson baseline, threw it away. Turnover here. While the Horned Frog guards, back comes Oweh. Had it stripped away by Emmanuel Miller. They're going to say it's off of OU.
Yeah, Miller did a nice job coming across as Moore was trying to bring the ball back, Oweh was trying to bring the ball back over from his right side to his left. Miller's able to poke it away right off his leg out of bounds. Fortunate break there for the Frogs. On the offensive end, Trey Tennyson can't leave his feet to make that pass. You've got to either put that shot up or find somebody before leaving your feet with nowhere to go with it.
Tennyson the left wing gives it up now to Emmanuel Miller. Miller turns and faces here on Oweh, pulls the trigger from 14 and scores it. Emmanuel's going to play with a little chip. Just going to be honest with you, on his shoulder here. He felt like, as did we, that he should have been a first-team all-conference performer. He was second team. The most consistent player in the Big 12 has been Emmanuel Miller. He's got 9 here early on. Penetration by Uzan. Penetrates left. Nelson's going to foul him, though, as that one high off the glass doesn't go. And a foul here on the Horned Frogs. Whistle this one on Jameer Nelson. Time out of the floor with 7:27 to go. Emmanuel Miller's got 9. Chuck O'Bannon's got 6. Horned Frogs lead by 10. 30-20 with 7:28 left here in this first half. Back we come courtside. Kansas City after this timeout. A word from Progressive Insurance.
At At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Every child deserves healthcare designed just for them, and Cook Children's offers just that. They're more than just a healthcare system. They're your friends, your neighbors, and their parents too. So they see the world through your eyes. They see what you're going through. By working together, they can help your child get the best care and support possible. Find a doctor near you at cookchildrens.org.
Tom Thumb is making shopping and saving easier than ever. Check out Tom Thumb for You in our mobile app, where you can shop for groceries online and save over $300 weekly with digital coupons all in one place. Plus, earn rewards every time you shop in-store or online and redeem for free groceries or gas savings. Download the Tom Thumb app or go to TomThumb.com to start saving today. Tom Thumb, DFW's grocer since 1948.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive. See why over 28 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Welcome back into Kansas City. Let's update you on some scores around the country with the Horned Frogs here up by 10, 30-20. The American Athletic Conference tournament is taking place in Fort Worth at Dickies Arena. Temple leads UTSA 23-16 right now with 7:48 to play in the first half. Out of the Pac-12, USC and Washington in a tight one. That one coming to an end of the first half with Washington up 39-35, 29 seconds left in that one. Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC at halftime. Wake Forest leads Notre Dame 40-34. In the Mountain West, Wyoming in the second half with 2:07 to go. Leads Fresno State by 3, 72-69. The A-10 tournament sees Virginia Commonwealth up by 1 with 3:48 left in that one, 59-58 over the Fordham Rams. And in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, the SWAC, Alcorn State with a 5-point advantage on Alabama A&M, 35-30. That's with 1:32 to go. Coming up here shortly in about 5 minutes, you'll see a tip with Xavier and Butler meeting in the Big East. And then at 3:30, San Jose State and Colorado State square off in the Mountain West Conference. Right now here at the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship, 10-point lead for the Frogs, 30-20.
Yeah, Frogs doing a nice job still shooting the ball from 5 out of 9 from three-point land, 7 out of 7 from the free throw line. I still like the defensive intensity they have, forcing 6 turnovers from OU and 3 of those from Otega Owe. Who we kind of pegged as the guy who's probably going to look at shouldering that scoring void from missing McCollum this tonight.
Yeah, 3 players out for Oklahoma: John Hughley, Jamin McCollum, and Rivaldo Suarez. Free throw line right now missed here for Miles Uzan. Sooners had as a team just 2 of 6 from the free throw line to start. Frogs a perfect 7 for 7.
Big difference in the game right now.
Yeah, it is. Second effort is good for Uzan. And the lead is 9, 30-21. Avery Anderson brings it up to Jameer Nelson. Getting a bit of a break. Jacoby Cole's going to come into the next dead ball.
Yeah, Nelson picked up that second foul in the last possession there, so he's going to take a break here and see if Anderson can get him to halftime and keep that lead.
Court working baseline, spins on Godwin, bounces out front lazily. It's stolen away. Taken away by Uzan to the rim around Tennyson for the lay-in good. 30-23. That was one of your things you talked about. You can't give away the SIWs, the self-inflicted wounds, and there's one right there from Xavier Cork.
I think Xavier Cork's had a couple opportunities, I think, to really take it to Godwin, kind of force the issue and make him maybe pick up that second foul. And just right there, Chuck O'Bannon cuts a baseline drive, backdoor cut, and gives that second foul to Godwin. That could be a big foul for OU there.
That was a nice look from Avery Anderson. Good anticipation by Chuck, too, to take it baseline. Missed the dunk, but is fouled. He'll go to the line. As you heard Colin mention, Godwin whistled for his second personal foul. Team foul on Oklahoma, number 7. Free throw is good for Chuck. He's got 7.
Yeah, TCU can stay aggressive going to the basket here. That could be a big problem for OU, especially with the short bench tonight.
Jacoby Coles into the lineup. Xavier Court checks out. Frogs with a smaller lineup on the floor right now. O'Bannon's free throws off the mark. Taken out of there now by Jalen Moore.
I think he knew it right when it left his hands, too. He was kind of trying to lean it into the basket. He knew it was going to be a little short.
Out front with it now, works Uzan. Uzan's matched up on Avery Anderson. Screen from Moore. Left-hand side, it goes Darther. Back out top, and a turnover here. Threw it away to Darther. Threw it behind Miles Uzan. Didn't have to do that. Goes into the backcourt, and then eventually out of bounds. Porter Moser operating with his shirt untucked on the sideline. His Sooners are down 31-23.
Yeah, those are two of the guys that have played a lot of minutes for him this year. So, unforced error. A little self-inflicted win on OU side this time.
Anderson up front with it. Anderson to the elbow. Back between the circles of Coles. Jacoby entry now to Emmanuel Miller. Miller's going to back in for the baseline. Spin it off the glass and score that one. Darther was there defending. Somehow Miller able to force it up and gets the lead back to 10.
Yeah, nice job by Miller. Taking a big hit, too. No call. He's able to spin it off the glass there. But a tough entry pass from Coles.
Yes.
I kind of thought that could have gone to the wing first before it went into Miller, but he was able to get it there. Miller's able to hold him off.
33-23, 10-point ball game. Jumper from Darther's no good. One and done here. Frogs will push. Tennyson down the right-hand alley. 5:49 to play in the half. Frogs by 10. Out top it goes Miller. Left-hand side Anderson. Avery puts it on the floor. Around Godwin to the rim. Had it blocked. Out of there by Northweather. Goes out of bounds. Let's see. It's going to stay with TCU. Yes.
Yeah. Northweather with a nice recovery, too, because Anderson gets by him. He's got a full step, and he just closes that gap really quickly. He's able to swat it out of bounds.
Frogs will end that bounce underneath their own basket now. Anderson does so to Tennyson. 15 on the shot clock. Out front it comes Avery. 5:35 to play in this first half. Anderson step back, give it up now to Coles. Coles looks down low. Emmanuel Miller in traffic, forces it with the right hand on a foul here. Jalen Moore. Moore thought he got all ball, but he got a piece of the arm of Miller. And now Emmanuel's going to go to the free throw line. He shot that with 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, Miller did a nice job ducking in there, and Coles didn't kind of lob that one in. He put a little mustard on that pass, which you got to do to a post player, especially as they flash wide open there. Down that low. Defenders are going to be trying to fight to get around right there. Miller did a nice job holding off, and a little pump fake, get him off the ground, and pick up the foul there.
Miller makes one. Stations Les Paul. 10 seconds for station identification here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield. Emmanuel Miller makes both free throws at 12, 35-23, 5:27 to play here in this first half. Ryan Estridge, Colin Boddicker with you. Along with our producer-engineer courtside, Blake Jones here in Kansas City. And Northweather is fouled out front by Avery Anderson on the reach-in. Ryan Clark, by the way, has the con back in the studio for us today. Just a reach-in way out front. Anderson there on Northweather, who's not much of a threat to score, but he was tempted by the basketball high there.
Yeah, just got his arm tangled up a little bit. Northweather shooter.
Three-pointer. This one doesn't go for the big fella. Run down to the corner now by Avery Anderson. Anderson pushes. Tennyson pulls the trigger on the three himself. Misses that one. Rebound ripped out of there now by Jalen Moore. Back the other way come the Sooners. Down the right-hand alley is Uzan. Uzan's got it. Leads at 12 for the Horned Frogs. 35-23. Darther brings it back out now to Uzan. Uzan's going to reset here. Gives it between the circles, Northweather. Northweather looked right. Gives it up to Uzan. Uzan back and goes Northweather. Loose on the floor, Tennyson. Now it goes to Jacoby Coles. Coles in traffic. Back to Anderson again now.
Yeah, Frogs, another great defensive possession there. Frogs really getting after it here on the defensive end.
Nice bounce to Coles for the reverse that doesn't go. And back the other way comes Oklahoma. Steal here by Peavy. Read it perfectly. Nice tip up down to Coles, and Jacoby able to lay that one in and score. The Frogs go up in this ball game 37-23 with 4:15 to play.
Yeah, Peavy playing center field right there, just for a free safety, I guess I should say. Just runs right through that passing lane, saves it in bounds to Coles, who was still back under the basket. Easy lay-in.
Nice Nice quick pass to Jacoby when he saw him wide open. Right-hand side with it is Darth. Out top it goes now to Northweather. Northweather here to Oway. Back to Northweather to Uzan. 37-23, Frogs by 14, 3:50 to go. Northweather thought about it. Back Uzan. He'll fire the three-pointer. That one's off the mark. Nice rebound of the offensive end for Moore. Put it on the deck and is fouled here by TCU. Tony Bedford up clapping and applauding the effort by his Frogs, and with good reason. TCU at 14 right now in the scoring margin. That's their largest lead of the game. 37-23 Frogs over the Sooners. 3:47 left in the half. Back we come courtside here in Kansas City after this timeout and a word from Sewell Automotive.
If you're looking for the definition of service, I'm sure Sewell's name is in the dictionary of service.
I don't think there's a person that I've ever come in contact with that works at Sewell that wasn't the top of the top.
There's nothing to compare it to.
They take good care of me. I'm happy to drive a Sewell.
Sewell Automotive Companies, a proud supporter of the TCU Horned Frogs. Visit us at Sewell.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Orange Theory, let's turn it up.
Are you ready for the life-changing fitness experience that helps you redefine your limits? You are faster here, you are stronger here, and you get more results here. Because here, you have the coaches, community, and group energy coming together to push you forward every class with scientifically designed full-body workouts and technology to track your results and prove you're improving. Welcome to Orange Theory Fitness. Book a free workout today at orangetheory.com. See studio for details.
TCU teams and traditions are legendary. Our team at Strategic Wealth Designers are proud to be a partner of TCU Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Horned Frogs Trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today. And go Horned Frogs.
.347 to play now. 37-23. The Horned Frogs leading it here by 14 over the Oklahoma Sooners. Here in this first half, TCU getting it done right now. Getting it done on the defensive end as well. So far, they've forced 9 turnovers by the Sooners in this ballgame. Frogs have taken care of the basketball, just 4 of their own.
No, absolutely. I think the defensive pressure has been the story of this first half for TCU. I would argue that this is the best defensive lead that they've played in a long time, and you can tell a lot of it's just effort and energy that they're bringing on the defensive side of the ball.
3:47 to go. 37-23 right now. 14-point TCU margin. Frogs getting it done as we talked about, and offensively kind of sharing the load. Emmanuel Miller with 13, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Frogs have scored in this game.
Yeah, and Chuck O'Bannon with a couple of made threes already for the Frogs. He made those first 2 buckets of the game for TCU, but Micah Peavy getting into the act with 5. Jameer Nelson's got 5. Jacoby Cole's got 5 now. So a lot of guys are putting the ball in the hole for the Frogs.
3:47 to go. Now the Frogs on the floor. Avery Anderson stays out there along with Chuck O'Bannon, Micah Peavy, Jacoby Coles, and the 5th is Emmanuel Miller.
Frogs doing a nice job taking care of the basketball here in the first half thus far. Just 4 turnovers.
Free throw line now. Goes Jalen Moore. Knocks it in. 17th foul of the Frogs puts Oklahoma in the 101. By the way, if you're back in Fort Worth this weekend, Saturday is the track and field alumni meet. Always good to see those guys back in town if you get a chance to run out there. There's a lot of speed. The second one's good here for the Sooners, and the lead now is down to 12, 37-25.
I don't know about those guys, but my 40 time is way slower than it was.
Yeah, you think so? Mine's wind dated. Here's Coles running one-hander, got that one to go.
Yeah, shooter's roll right there. Nice and soft up on the rim, hangs up there, and just bounces in. Nice job by Coles.
Jacoby Coles got 7 points in this first half. 39-25, 14-point margin. 3:24 to go. Out front with it now. Works Milo's shoes in. Gets it down low. Moore can't handle it. Somehow bouncing it out of bounds. Able to save it off the corner. Back it comes now. Oway for the free throw line. Forces that one over Peavy. Creates his whole shot, though. Got it to go.
Boy, that's a tough shot, too. Peavy, one of the best defenders in the league, and was with him every step of the way, and only gave him a sliver to get that shot off, and knocks it down. Tough shot.
12-point ball game. 39-27. Here's Miller. Right-hand side. It goes Micah Peavy again. Micah at the wing right. Out front, Avery Anderson. Anderson down to Emmanuel Miller. Off it goes Jacoby Coles. 2:48 to play. Coles had it knocked away and stolen away. Oway tried to save it, though, but he does so to Coles. Will fire the baseline jumper off the mark. But Jamie Dixon doesn't like that shot. Back the other way come the Sooners. Left-hand alley with it is Uzan. Uzan to the left wing. They go Moore. Alan Moore working there. Double team. Stolen away by Coles, who's standing on the inline.
Nice quick hands there from Coles to swat it away from Moore, trying to cut down the baseline there, but just caught that heel right on the inline. Otherwise, it would have been another steal for the Frogs.
Jamie Dixon just screaming at Jacoby Coles.
He went into the post he went into the post down there and just kept dribbling, and can't do that. You got to just make up your mind real quick.
Darthard into Anderson, doesn't get it to go. A lot of contact, no call. Back the other way comes Emmanuel Miller. Miller to forecourt now to Chuck O'Bannon. O'Bannon leaves it off in the corner to Micah Peavy. Peavy dives through, sends it off now to Avery. Anderson jumpers off the mark. He was sliding to his left. Got to get square there. 39-27, 12-point ball game. 2:10 to play.
Yeah, it's a shot he's been knocking down recently, though. So
that one looked a little flat coming off of it, didn't it?
I agree. And Miller coming down, I thought that pass was going to be intercepted. His cross-court pass on the break, but Frogs still trying to get good looks for everybody. Everybody's getting a shot now.
39-27 penetration here. Right-hand side now for OU. Darthard to the corner left. He sends it off to Moore. Moore in traffic over Coles. And a foul here on the Frogs. Jacoby was standing there. See if they get this one on. I think this is going to be on Jacoby Coles. It will be. Oklahoma gets to go to the free throw line now. 49 to play and a half.
One of the hardest things to do as a defender is you got a guy who blows past your teammate, is coming at you, and you're under the basket, and you're trying to stand there and wall up, right? And you know you're about to take a hit right to the midsection as he goes through you trying to go to the basket. It is almost impossible to keep your hands vertical. Yes. If you can, they're going to miss that shot 8 out of 10 times.
Right.
But it's just so hard to just take that hit and not kind of like brace yourself for it. And when you brace yourself for it, you naturally bring your arms down a little bit, which ends up with a foul right here for Coles.
I heard a story about Jared Goff, the NFL quarterback, whose dad was a catcher. And Jared Goff could handle the pass rush coming at him because when he was growing up, his dad would throw balls in his chest while he was throwing the football. You know,
it sounds like Happy Gilmore getting ready for hockey season.
Right. Free throw here is
in the batting.
That's right. No pads on, right? Yeah. 39-28, second free throw there. Makes it an 11-point ball game with 1:45 to play. Anderson in the forecourt works between the circles. Avery at the left-hand side, entering now to Emmanuel Miller. Yeah, your tendency is to always protect yourself. Here's O'Bannon, step-back jumper to go. May have forced that one and a foul away from the ball. Is this going to be Uday fighting for position? Let's see. I think they're going to get the Sooners here, will they?
They are, and it was Uday forcing the issue, trying to get into position for a rebound there.
Yeah, that's on Yaya Keita, who just checked into the lineup. He's a big body, 6'9", 240, out of Mali, transfer from Missouri.
May have heard Porter Moser yelling good box out to his guys. Want to keep trying to get in position there. You're not going to get every call in these games, but you want one of your guys to continue to box out.
Free throw line now goes Ernest Uday. That soft touch got the first one to go. A 57% free throw shooter.
Soft touch, and I'm thinking soft rim too. That rim just absorbed that.
Yeah, those rims haven't been shot on since Phil Ford was here with the Kansas City Kings, right? Otis Birdsong, second free throws off the mark. That That doesn't date me, by the way, does it?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know that the T-Mobile Center was there yet.
That's right. Great Kemper Arena, right?
There you go.
Second free throw is no good. Usehand with the rebound. Back out top. It comes always left all alone for the jumper. That one off the mark. And Micah Peavy with the rebound. He was too open that time.
Yeah, Frogs were very fortunate there.
40-28. Nice look down low. Uday for the dunk. Ernest with a jam. That's number 22 on the year.
Yeah, Peavy did a great job. He took a little bit off of that pass. He allowed Uday the opportunity to turn around, locate it, catch it, and go up and jam it home. Great pass from Peavy.
Yeah, Frogs by 14 now with 54 seconds to play. Right-hand side, it goes now to Darthur. Darthur skips it back out front. Usehand between the circles. Screen comes for Cato. Kicks it off in the corner now. Back out top. It'll go Moore for three. Jalen Moore scores that one. Junior out of Birmingham. Probably the best player on the floor for Oklahoma.
All right, Frogs doing a great job right here, letting the clock go down under 30 before he picks up the ball.
And now.
So now no shot clock here. Great job by TCU. Good recognition. They made that shot with about 42 seconds left. Peavy took his time getting to the ball.
Yep.
Coach Dixon's yelling at him, don't throw it in yet. And he just kind of dropped it inbounds, and Anderson let the clock get under 30. So now TCU can hold for the last shot.
I'm surprised Darthur didn't make more of an effort to make Anderson pick that one up, try to run the same play again. And Cata's going to be whistled for the foul. Another one on Yaya Keita as they run the same play for Ernest Uday for the lob one more time. This is going to be okay. It's going to be his second. Are they going to check and see if this is an intentional? Or was that just a question of whether or not it's two shots?
Yes, correct. And they're over 10, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah.
But I think the Frogs could have waited like 8 seconds to even run that play.
A little early. Yep.
Just a little early, because now you give OU, you did all that effort on this end to hold for a last shot, and now you go down and you run your play too early, and you give Oklahoma 9.2 seconds to come back the other way.
But aren't you tempted when you see that, and you see that matchup, and you think, okay, I can run this same play with Uday and get an easy bucket?
Absolutely, yeah. But you can wait to start it. It doesn't have to go right away.
You know us humans, we've been tempted from day one. Here's Uday's second free throw.
But now TCU gets no bucket, no points out of this, and OU...
Oway pushes up off the glass. Frogs block it. They're going to count this one. They're going to count it as a goaltender. Now Jimmy Dixon says, let's look at this one, please, Keith Kimball. And I think it may not be as much as it's on the way down. Is it the fact that the backboard was hit here? And Emmanuel Miller a little slow.
Looks like he took an elbow, Emmanuel Miller, but he's up and okay. They're looking at the replay here.
Did he take an elbow from Uday?
From his teammate, yeah.
Here's a look at it. Oh, I think they hit heads. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. And, it's a little unfortunate for the Frogs. That's a block for sure. That's going to be no bucket for OU. He caught that 4 inches before it hit the backboard.
And I think it's Uday who gets it, right?
And Uday gets it, and his momentum carries him into Miller, but Anderson, actually the Frogs are fortunate. Anderson chucked a three-quarter court shot with 3 seconds to go on it. He probably had 3 or 4 more dribbles. Could have got almost to the other three-point line before having to shoot that ball.
And we just saw another angle, Colin, that didn't look as obvious on it not being all the way down. There's a Sooner fan sitting behind the replay monitor, one saying it counts, and then there's another fan saying this one's not going to count. The other fan's an Oklahoma State fan, so he hates it.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got an Eskimo Joe's shirt on.
That's what you love about the Big 12 tournament. Yes. All the fans from every team coming. Even if your team's not playing, it's still fun to come down and watch all the games.
42-33.
They just call it a clean block.
Clean block, okay.
TCU came up with possession. They immediately went to Avery Anderson. So TCU should have possession they're putting 3.3 on the clock here. They're going to have the length of the floor to go.
All right, 3.3 left. Jamie's already used his use it or lose it timeout.
Yep, he effectively got it here. You practice this every week in practice. End of game situations, end of half situations. So as the officials are slow to get everybody on the floor, TCU effectively had a timeout there, so that's great. Coach Dixon was able to draw up a play, but they already know what they're going to run here. You got Jameer Nelson back in the game as well. You'll try to get one of the guards, most likely banana cutting to the basket, so you catch it with momentum going towards the basket here.
Good move by Oklahoma to put Keita guarding Micah Peavy, who's got to throw the ball inbounds. Micah can't move. Looking. Baseball pass in traffic, intercepted by Moore. One dribble, two dribbles, stolen by Peavy, who gets it off in time. And it goes! Are you kidding me? They're going to count it! Micah Peavy from three-quarter court.
What a sequence. So Peavy throws a Hail Mary pass that gets intercepted, and coming back the other way, Oklahoma turns it over right back to Peavy, who chucks it from three-quarter court, and it didn't just go straight in. It hit the backboard, hit the rim, and then toilet bowl flushed around the rim a couple of times and went in.
Frogs are living right here in this first half. 45-31. It's a 14-point lead here at the half. Two teams have made their way to the locker room. Officials will take a look at it. We've had a chance to see it on replay. He shot it from the top of the arc. He got rid of that in time.
No, there's no doubt about it. Backboard first. Top of the arc. Look at this. Three-quarter court. That will be a top 10 play of the week for sure. Round and down. What a shot.
Micah Peavy with a three-pointer to close out the half, just like Jamie Dixon drew it up. 45-31. TCU leads it here by 14 on Oklahoma. Our halftime show starts next after this local timeout here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, everyone. This is Chauncey Franks with TCU Fellowship Christian Athletes. I want to invite you out to our TCU FCA Night of Champions Banquet. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from coaches such as Kurt Sarlos, TJ Bruce, Malcolm Kelly, Mark Tomerdahl, and others. But the highlight of the night is hearing from our student athletes the impact FCA is having on their life. The banquet is April 25th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Program starts at 6:30 in the indoor practice facility. Go to tcufca.org for banquet information.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
Hi, everybody. It's John Denton for the Flying T Club. You know, college athletics is an ever-changing world, and the Flying T Club is keeping TCU ahead of the curve. The Flying T Club is the TCU name, image, and likeness collective, helping TCU student-athletes make a positive impact in the Fort Worth community. Whether it's making big plays or enhancing the Flying T Club's support of local charities, TCU athletes are making a difference on and off the field. Get on the team today and make your tax-deductible donation at flyingtclub.com. Let's keep winning at flyingtclub.com.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Dialed in on that first half, Dave Shook has all the highlights right now on our Halftime Rewind.
3:40 here at the half. The Horned Frogs now leading at 45-31. TCU leading it over the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll take a look at the highlights here shortly, but first, Colin Boddick, gotta like the way this one finished. Micah Peavy with a three-pointer. You're not going to see this every day in college basketball. Frogs have it turned over. Jalen Moore comes up with the basketball for Oklahoma, and he's got an opportunity with 2 seconds or so left to get a shot off. Instead, he turns it back over to Micah Peavy, who shoots it from three-quarter court.
Yeah, I think Moore was thinking he was going to get fouled as Jameer Nelson kind of came up to guard him because he had to guard him for 3 seconds before the half ran out, and he just loses the ball, and he loses it directly to Micah Peavy, who didn't stay under the basket, who had worked his way up to the top of the key at least there. And the ball pops right to him, and he doesn't hesitate. He knows he's got a short shot clock. He's got to catch it and just let it go. And sure enough, three-quarter court, off the backboard, around the rim a couple times, and down in a huge momentum burst for TCU going into halftime.
Frogs took care of the basketball. Only 5 turnovers in that first half. We're going to take a look at the numbers from this one a little bit later on at halftime. Also check on some scores from around the country. Needless to say, though, a good start for TCU. Took advantage of the 3 starters out for OU. Played a lot of guys in that half. Did the Horned Frogs. Pushed them with some tempo, did TCU. As a matter of fact, the Frogs wanted to get out and run more here in the second, you got to believe, because they can take advantage of the numbers, if nothing else, here in this second, where TCU leads at 45-31 at the half. More of our wrap-up show comes your way, including the highlights from this first half, and an opportunity here to check in with Colin Boddicker on what that scorecard in the first half looks like. We'll do that when we continue with more of our halftime show after this time out of the word from Albertsons.
Tom Thumb is making shopping and saving easier than ever. Check out Tom Thumb for You in our mobile app, where you can shop for groceries online and save over $300 weekly with digital coupons all in one place. Plus, earn rewards every time you shop in-store or online and redeem for free groceries or gas savings. Download the Tom Thumb app or go to TomThumb.com to start saving today. Tom Thumb, DFW's grocer since 1948.
If you're looking for the definition of service, I'm sure Sewell's name is in the dictionary of service.
I don't think there's a person that I've ever come in contact with that works at Sewell that wasn't the top of the top.
There's nothing to compare it to.
They take good care of me. I'm happy to drive a Sewell.
Sewell Automotive Companies, a proud supporter of the TCU Horned Frogs. Visit us at Sewell.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
With interest rates growing, we think your business and personal savings deserve to grow too. And you should even get to choose how you do it. Right now, Amegy is offering amazing rates on our business and personal savings and CDs. For details, visit AmegyBank.com. Amegy Bank. Here, you grow. A division of Zions Band Corporation N.A. member FDIC.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Texas Christian University. Any use of this presentation is prohibited without the express consent of Texas Christian University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Texas Christian University. On the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Halftime Report.
This is the Coors Light Scoreboard. Now let's check on scores from around the country.
Here's Dave Shuck.
Dave's got the night off. We got a quick check of scores going on here. The Horned Frogs lead it 45-31 over Oklahoma at the half. Right now, the ACC, Wake Forest with a 59-43 lead over Notre Dame in the second half with 9:51 left in that one. SWAC tournament action sees Alcorn State trailing Alabama A&M by 43-42. That's with 15:22 to go. USC and Washington in a close one of the second half, 13:52 left in that ball game in the second half. USC, the Trojans, up on the Huskies 51-50. At halftime at Fort Worth at Dickies Arena, Temple with a 14-point advantage on UTSA in the American Athletic Conference, 35-21. Owls lead that one. And Butler and Xavier just underway in the Big East. Butler with an early 15-14 lead. Earlier today here in the Big 12, saw BYU post the victory. The Cougars get the victory here in Big 12 action with a nice win over UCF 87-73 was the final in that one. Virginia Tech fell to Florida State in the ACC 86-76 earlier in the day. Time now for highlights of this ball game for this first half with the Frogs up by 14, 45-31. It was a quick start for TCU from outside the arc, and it was in part to the start of Chuck O'Bannon, his first start of the year, and he came in and knocked out a pair of threes. The first one sounded like this. There's Nelson working into the paint, finds O'Bannon, corner left, the three, Chuck. Postseason Chuck with a three to open the scoring, and the Horned Frogs leading. That was his first one. His second one, very similar from Chuck O'Bannon. Miller sends across court. O'Bannon again fires a jumper. That one goes. Another three for Chuck O'Bannon. 2 out of 3 to start. Chucky baby in the house, and the Horned Frogs leading 6-1. O'Bannon with 7 points in that first half. Jameer Nelson, by the way, for the Horned Frogs, he chipped in 3 as well, the old-fashioned way to make it 9-4. Here's Nelson with it. Jameer to the free throw line. Jameer works it into the lane, forces one up, scores it, and is fouled. Darthard commits the foul. Nice job there by Jameer Nelson. That's where he's at his best. Scores there, and he'll have a chance for a three-point. Three-pointers were the theme in that first half for the Horned Frogs. Emmanuel Miller leads them in scoring with 13, including this lone 3 of the half for Emmanuel. Now to Nelson, it does. Here's Miller out front for 3. E-Man scores that one. The Frogs lead 12-6. Emmanuel Miller, 4 of 6 for the floor, 1 of 1 from behind the arc. Jacoby Coles gets in the act as well with this 3. All right, we're going to check that now. The last 2 highlights of the first half that we want to share with you are these. Ernest Uday with a wonderful play here from a guard who sets him up with a nice slam to make it 42-28 Frogs. 40-28. Nice look down low. Uday for the dunk. Ernest with a jam. That's number 22 on the year. Ernest Uday with that dunk. And then the Frogs close it out with a turnover committed by Oklahoma just when it looked like the Sooners would get the last shot of the half. Micah Peavy made them pay. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles stolen by Peavy, who gets it off in time. And it goes! Are you kidding me? They're going to count it! Micah Peavy from three-quarter court! That one makes it a 14-point Horned Frog lead, their largest of the game. 45-31. TCU leads it here on Oklahoma. Our halftime show continues after this local timeout of the Horned Frogs Network from Learfield.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student-athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit tcufrogclub.com to join today.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
Second half tip-off is minutes away. But first, a preview of the halftime adjustments made by Coach Jamie Dixon and staff. With our exclusive locker room report, here is Colin Boddicker.
It's halftime here in Kansas City for this Big 12 tournament second round game where TCU leads Oklahoma 45-31. Back in the locker room, Coach Jamie Dixon was pleased with his team's defensive intensity in the first half. You could tell that everyone was making a concerted effort to bring more energy to this game, and it showed as TCU was able to force OU into 10 first half turnovers. Offensively, the Frogs did Nice job of finding open shooters on the perimeter, knocking down 6 of 12 from three-point land. Coach Dixon wants the Frogs to stick with that game plan and execute their offense to keep getting those good looks. Defensively, Coach Dixon wants the Frogs to keep the ball pressure up. OU had a tough time running their offense, and it was all due to TCU's relentless pressure. They'll want to continue to make things difficult on the Sooners here in the second half offensively. And that'll do it for the halftime locker room report, where TCU leads Oklahoma 45-31. And we'll be right back for the start of the second half after a quick break and a message from Home Zone Furniture.
To be made in Texas means quality. And at Home Zone, we're proud to create furniture with premium materials, upgraded features, and stylish designs, all at the best price. And yes, made right here in Texas. Visit us today for incredible store-wide savings and 48 months with no interest, no down payment, and no minimum purchase. Our non-commissioned team makes it comfortable to browse, plus enjoy free ice cream while you shop. Visit us at any of our 13 DFW locations today. Home Zone, Texas-born, family-owned.
WinStar World Resort proudly presents world-class entertainment. Jim Gaffigan, Jason Aldean, Stevie Nicks, James Taylor, and Kevin Hart are just a few upcoming names that will be performing live at WinStar. From comedy to country, rock to pop, Lucas Oil Live at WinStar offers something for everyone. Tickets are available at SeatGeek.com. And don't forget to play like a star at WinStar World Resort, located on I-35, 1 mile north of the Texas-Oklahoma border.
There are those who wait for spring, and then there are Cadillac drivers who boldly inspire spring's arrival in stunning sedans poised to outrun winter, or in stylish SUVs. Bringing together design and performance with such exuberance, they make every day feel like that first warm day of the year. So this spring, don't wait. Be among those who inspire boldness in bloom at the Cadillac Move Up sales event. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today.
With more joint health, there's more get out and go time. There's more time for Saturday tailgates. More time for game-winning plays. And more Horned Frog wins. With quality, personalized joint care, Texas Health can help you get more out of life and more time for the big game. That's how Texas Health cares more. Take our hip and knee health assessment or find a specialist today at yourjointhealth.com.
Second half, 45-31. Frogs lead it here by 14. Quick check of that scoreboard for you as everyone's trying to watch what's going on around the country. Wake Forest with a 12-point lead over Notre Dame in that second half in the ACC, USC, and Washington. Washington now up by 3 on the Trojans with 10:31 to play in the second half of that one. And Butler and Xavier tied at 22. You got to do a little scoreboard watching as it goes on in March Madness, Colin, because only so many spots. You don't want some of those that are going to be automatics losing.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know, obviously everybody kind of takes a look at who's kind of on the bubble, and a lot of people's mock brackets get TCU kind of on that bubble, you know, last 4 in or first 4 buys kind of line right now. But I think with a win today, if they can hold on here against OU, that should solidify the Frogs into the NCAA tournament.
I tell you, the tournament to watch that could affect the Big 12 as much as any is the Mountain West, which could get as many as 6 teams in.
It's a great league this year.
It is. So you got to keep an eye on how those things sort of work out. There's a big one tonight. Air Force and New Mexico. If Air Force beats New Mexico, they beat them by 30 in Albuquerque. Somehow, Air Force did. If they win that one, that might eliminate New Mexico. That frees up a spot for the Big 12.
Yeah, that's a the Pit is a tough place to play. Win by 30. That's a big win. Go down there.
Yeah, it was kind of as I was talking with guys in the league, they said it's kind of hard to explain that one.
In my days before TCU, my freshman year at Holy Cross, we took a trip down to the Pit.
Yeah,
played a top 5 team in New Mexico. We took it by 51 on the chin.
Yeah, 51. That's a lot. You got to work that.
That's the biggest loss of my entire life.
Here's the other thing they say, that New Mexico travels so well to Vegas now. It's kind of Pit north in Las Vegas. So be a tough one. Here's Godwin with it for Oklahoma to start. Tries to work it down low. Taylor Moore can't handle the pass, and a turnover to open the second half for the Sooners. Gives it right back to TCU with his 14-point lead. 10 seconds into the second half. Jameer Nelson, Micah Peavy, Chuck O'Bannon, Emmanuel Miller, and Ernest Uday start the second for the Horned Frogs.
Frogs picking up right where they left off with nice pressure there, forcing a turnover first possession.
Darthard, Owe, Godwin, Usehan, and Moore start the second for Oklahoma. Miller backing it into the lane. And an offensive foul here with a hook by Emmanuel Miller with a left hand, and that was not much.
No argument from Emmanuel Miller, so I'm hard to argue it if he's not going to argue it.
But you've seen worse.
You don't see that called very often. And everybody does it, so we'll see.
Out front with it right now is Usehan. Works between the circles on Jameer Nelson. Usehan to the left-hand elbow. Backs it back out between the circles. Screen from Godwin. Right-hand wing. They get it out. Jalen Moore going baseline on Miller. Too strong. O'Bannon there. On the opposite side for the rebound. And now Peavy pushes for TCU. Down the left-hand alley. Leaves for Chuck. Chuck on the dribble. Kicks it right-hand side out of Jameer Nelson. Nelson bounces out top now to Peavy. Peavy, elbow. Takes it down the right-hand side. Kicks it off now to O'Bannon. Back between the circles. Nelson again. Miller. Uday. Out front. Peavy. Peavy in traffic, baseline left. Frogs had great spacing and ball movement over the half court, just unable to convert. Baseline left now is Oklahoma with it.
Yeah, I kind of thought Peavy had a better chance to go off the glass there. Tries to shoot it straight in, ends up with back iron.
Kick it corner, Darthard blocked by O'Bannon. Chuck went high to get it and lost it out of bounds. But a great job by O'Bannon running at Darthard, who was open for a three in the corner. And O'Bannon now with 12 blocks on the year.
It is amazing that he blocks more jump shooters than probably anybody in the country. And he's sneaky quick off the ground like that.
18:32 to go. Off of the corner, they get it, Darthard, and a foul here on O'Bannon was a little late sliding over. Chuck whistled for the personal foul on O'Bannon. It's going to be number 2. Inbounds in front of the Oklahoma bench. Darthard will do it. Now top Usehan. Darthard now Usehan again. Bounces, free throw line Godwin. Godwin left alone as Miller sloughs off of him and missed it. Well, good decision by Emmanuel.
Yeah, he just kind of put Godwin in a position where he had to make that decision, and he made it late and kind of put himself where he didn't have anything else to do but shoot it.
Miller, free throw line, bumped as he flips it up off the glass, scored and a foul. Emmanuel get a chance at a three-point play here. They count the bucket. Whistle the foul here on Jalen Moore, I think.
Yeah, great job by Miller, just catching it here and ripping it and getting to the basket and taking the hit and just able to power it up and get it up off the glass and just give it a chance to go in. Sometimes it doesn't. He's able to make this one.
Second personal on Jalen Moore. Emmanuel Miller at the free throw line. Missed it. Moore grabs the rebound out. 47-31. Frogs with a 16-point lead, their largest of the game. Darthard quickly on the other end has it to the left wing. Back out front will go now to Owe. Owe bounces to Godwin. Godwin waiting on some help. Holds it high above his head. Gives now to Usehan. Usehan between the circles. Back left-hand side, it goes Darthard. Darthard, Usehan. 7 on the shot clock. 17:45 to go. Usehan to the free throw line now. Into Jameer Nelson, runs right through him and able to score it off the glass.
And Uday's looks like he might have rolled his right ankle just a little bit there. He's hobbled coming up down the floor.
Battled it for 5 games, missed 5 games, did Ernest Uday. Sets a big screen out front here on Moore. O'Bannon, off it goes to the baseline right to Emmanuel Miller. TCU by 14. Baseline jumping for Miller. Score that one. I told you he was playing with a chip on his shoulder in this ball game. That one counts in the Frogs now. See Emmanuel Miller with 17, and they lead it by 16.
Yeah, he had a big game, 27-9 against these same Sooners back in January as well. So clearly likes playing against them.
Out front with it now is Owe. Owe gives it up here to Miles Usehan. 16:55 to go. Here's Usehan on the left-hand side. Cross-court pass is stolen away by Peavy. Bounces to forecourt. Nelson steps through, lay it up, and score.
What a pass from Peavy. When he threw it, I was like, where's he throwing that ball? Nobody had stopped Peavy, but he finds Nelson, who catches it, kind of catches the defense off guard with that pass and allows Nelson to step through for the easy lay-in. What a pass.
Frogs are up by 18 here, starting this second half on a 6-2 run right now. Out of the top with a Godwin. Nice look down low. Catch, scoop, and score from Owe, and a foul by Peavy, who simply beat Peavy to the spot, did Owe. And he'll be at the free throw line for a 3-point play now.
Uday was really toughing it out the last couple times up and down the floor. He is definitely hobbled as Cork checks in for him. He limps off, but he was still out there trying to jump ball screens and get back as best he could. Hopefully it's nothing too serious here.
Yeah, big TB, Tony Benford meets him. Make sure he's all right. Going to run down to the athletic trainer. Matt Harrell will check on it. Free throw's no good. Frogs have the rebound now. 51-35, 16-point ball game. Out front with it is Jameer Nelson. Nelson bounces now to Xavier Court. Court, corner right, O'Bannon thought about it. Chuck back out front. It goes now to Nelson. Off it goes Micah Peavy. Peavy in traffic. Bump in Travis.
It's an awful lot of contact for a travel call, but Coach Peavy's even asking Brett Smith's like, what do you want me to do with all that contact?
Yeah. 16 minutes left. We'll get a timeout of the next dead ball. Here's Hughes-Hand to walk it up now. Coles and Tennyson are set to get to the TCU lineup of the next dead ball. Hughes-Hand out front. Godwin gives him a screen. Steps back, does Milo Hughes-Hand. Right-hand side, they'll get it now to Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore into Emmanuel Miller, into Jameer Nelson. Kicks it off in the corner. Darthard, who just flat out couldn't hold it. It goes out of bounds. Went through his hands of Latrade Darthard. And the Frogs will have possession of the basketball after the timeout on the floor. Good start to the second half for TCU, expanding the lead now. 51-35. They're up 16. Are the Horned Frogs. Back we come after this timeout. Word from Progressive Insurance.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance. And insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever. The Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
There are those who wait for spring, and then there are Cadillac drivers who boldly inspire spring's arrival in stunning sedans poised to outrun winter, or in stylish SUVs. Bringing together design and performance with such exuberance, they make every day feel like that first warm day of the year. So this spring, don't wait. Be among those who inspire boldness in bloom at the Cadillac Move Up sales event. Visit your Metroplex Cadillac dealers today.
Every child deserves healthcare designed just for them, and Cook Children's offers just that. They're more than just a healthcare system. They're your friends, your neighbors, and their parents too. So they see the world through your eyes. They see what you're going through. By working together, they can help your child get the best care and support possible. Find a doctor near you at cookchildrens.org.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive. See why over 28 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
15:39 to play in this ballgame. The Horned Frogs up 51-35. Brian Eskridge, Colin Boddicker. Blake Jones is our producer, engineer on site. Ryan Clark has the con for this one. Frogs by 16 here. When you need care, you want it in Fort Worth. And the team at Baylor Scott & White provides truly comprehensive care, from heart disease and cancer treatment to women's health and more. No matter what you need, Baylor Scott & White, All Saints Medical Center. Right down the road. Learn more at bayswhealth.com/Fort Worth. Frogs in action here in basketball, of course. Women's tennis on the road this weekend at Oklahoma State, K-State. That's coming up for them. 3-1 to start the Big 12 play for this women's tennis team. By the way, kudos to Gustav Fremont on the men's golf team. 6 top 10 finishes already this year for Gustav.
That's amazing.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
51-35, Horned Frogs leading it here on Oklahoma. 15:39 to go. Timeout now. The Frogs will have Avery Anderson and Trey Dennison. Jacoby Coles and Xavier Court, along along with Emmanuel Miller. That's your 5 on the floor for TCU. Max Kleinschek is going to get into the Oklahoma lineup now. Keep your eye on him. He joins Uzan and Jalen Moore, along with Godwin and Oweh. Here's Anderson in the forecourt with it now. Avery out front. It comes. Lazy pass and stolen away. Oweh gets it. It's tapped out of bounds by Avery Anderson, and Oklahoma's going to get it. How many times have we seen that from Avery? I mean, you've got to be sharp and crisp and active here.
Part of it is, you're throwing one-handed passes so you can't take it back, but then it's also incumbent upon the guy you're throwing it to step into the guy's chest and then step out. V-cut out to get open for the ball. Stokes Coles was on a lazy cut coming up top too. So it's a little bit of combination of both.
Uzan with it out front. Gives it up Oweh around Miller. Explodes to the rim. Lays it up and scores. 51-37 now. 14-point game. 15-13 to go.
Yeah, the OU bench exploded on that play right there.
We're back with you. 14:56 to play this ball game. 53-37. We lost power here courtside for just a second. It is a 16-point TCU lead. Going to count that bucket here by Emmanuel Miller, and then a foul as well is going to be called on Jalen Moore, I do believe. And again, Miller's had success taking Jalen Moore on the dribble drive.
Yeah, no question about it. Miller up to 19 points now and 3 fouls on Moore. So keep an eye on that. He has to take a quick seat to catch his breath on the other end.
Miller's free throw's no good, and the rebound taken out of there by Oweh. Forecourt with it comes Uzan. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Godwin. Godwin matched up on court. Left-hand side, it goes Oweh. Down low, Godwin, double team, slapped away. Anderson got it. Miller leads it out. Catch for Coles off the glass. Score it. Jacoby with that one. Frogs back up again. This one by 18. 55-37, largest lead of the game.
And another great example of a TCU player taking a little bit off of a pass to allow a teammate to run under it there for the easy layup for Coles. Miller with that great pass.
And then another turnover by Oklahoma as Oweh loses this one out of bounds. And the Frogs will have it with 14:20 to go now. Couple of substitutions. Caden Cooper's going to get into the lineup, as will Luke Northweather.
As we got to look at that last pass from Emmanuel Miller to Coles. That little lob pass just had Uzan leaving his feet and unable to stay high enough to intercept the pass. If he would have put more on it, it would have been intercepted. So it was a great pass from Miller.
The off-speed pitch got him, right?
Exactly right. A little change-up action.
Here's Avery Anderson with it out front now. Jamie Dixon wants to reset here in the half-court. Frogs up 55-37. Anderson, big screen for Coles, and a foul here on Kleinschek. Max trying to fight through that screen. And Peavy will inbound. 14:03 to go. Out front, Anderson.
Yeah, Peavy just threw that ball to Anderson. It was almost picked off. He was getting mad at Anderson because he didn't come back hard to the ball.
Court gets it right back from Coles. Left it short and a rebound out of Oklahoma. A little sloppy on that possession for the Frogs. Darthard on the other end for 3. That one's off the mark. Rebound out of bounds off of Oklahoma. Court touches it last.
Anderson's going to have a lot more sense of urgency here on the offensive side of the ball when TCU has it.
Inbounds. Out front. Northweather has it, gives it up this time. Uzan, right-hand side, catch and shoot 3. This one goes for Caden Cooper. We said keep your eye on him. Haven't seen him a lot. He's a 4-star player, true freshman out there from Ada, Oklahoma.
Yep, get an opportunity. You see what he does with it. He knocked down the first one there. It's the first shot of the game.
Here's Anderson working it into Kleinschek. Did he double dribble? He does. Turns it over, trying to do too much there. Avery Anderson. You got to think about getting Jameer Nelson back out there if you're Jamie Dixon. But back to Caden Cooper. Our producer engineer, Blake Jones, told us anybody who comes out of the Skill Factory High School, that's the name of it, you got to keep your eye on that guy.
If that's the name of the high school, I'm assuming that they do enough to get your degree.
Yep.
Right, and the rest of it is you're working on your skills. So I like it.
Free throw line with it now. Works Jalen Moore. Moore back out. Usehand. Penetration this time. Usehand keeps it himself. Missed the running one-handed layup. The rebound taken out of there by Jacoby Coles. Run out now to Avery Anderson down the right-hand side. Coles trailing, catches out front. Looks for a cutter. No look pass. Peavy can't handle it. I thought it was a good look. I'll be honest with you. I thought that was Jamie Dixon's hot at Jacoby Coles. I thought it was a good look and the right thing to do.
There's no question about it. He just put it 6 inches too far in front of Peavy. If he has it 6 inches back the other way, Peavy's able to get a whole hand on it, and he catches it and he lays it in for an easy bucket.
Colin, I think he was just trying to throw him open.
He was, and he let him just, like I said, like about 6 inches or so. Because Peavy got a couple fingers on it. He just needed a whole hand on it.
12:40 to play. Out front now, 55-40, TCU with the lead.
But coaches are always going to be upset if it's still a turnover. Doesn't matter if it was the right play or not.
Here's Moore taking it strong to the rim, missed it. Rebound tapped around, it sticks between rim and backboard, but a foul first. They're going to call this one on the Horned Frogs. This one's going to be on it. Let's check this because I thought
it's on Tennyson's his second.
Is it on Tennyson? Okay.
Yep.
Free throw line now goes Moore.
Trey was trying to retreat a little bit on the defensive side there. Moore did a nice job actually kind of not jumping to the basket and jumping sideways almost to create that contact and still got a nice shot up. Almost made it. Ends up at the line with two free throws here.
Moore misses the first, makes the second. Again, Jalen Moore's an 80% free throw shooter. And in this ball game, he's just 4 of 8 from the line.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit from the free throw line here, but Frogs will take it.
12:29 to go, 55-41. It's a 14-point ball game. Jameer Nelson with it. Nelson working between the circles, gets a screen from Emmanuel Miller, keeps it, sends it cross court right now. Trey Tennyson's baseline forces one in and out. The rebound tapped around, and Oklahoma's going to get it. Caden Cooper back the other way.
It's a good look from Tennyson. I like that 15-footer, even if it's on the baseline there. 90% down, just didn't go in.
Darthur around Coles to the rim, fouled on the way in.
I kind of like this strategy for OU if they're trying to get back in this game. Keep attacking the basket. If you can make your free throws and keep scoring with that clock stop, you can extend this game a little bit, give yourself a chance to get back into it.
Free throw line goes Darthur.
Also kind of disrupts the flow a little bit that TCU's had in this game.
Darthur's free throw is short.
Yeah, OU now just 7 of 15 from the free throw line as a team.
Makes that second one. 12:02 to play now. 55-42. TCU leads it here by 13. Out front with it is Nelson. Jameer Nelson around the screen from Cole, sends it off in the corner left. Chuck O'Bannon thought about it, put it on the floor. Nice feed, finds Jacoby Coles for the dunk, and the Horned Frogs back up now by 15.
You know, TCU doesn't do a lot of backdoor cuts, but that was an absolutely perfect time to do it. Jacoby Coles just slips in behind his defender. Easy jam after a great bounce pass there from Chuck O'Bannon.
Right-hand corner. It goes to Moore up off the glass, missed it, and a rebound taken out of there. Here's Darthur. Darthur keeps Oklahoma with another chance. Took it strong to the rim, and more contact and another foul. Oklahoma will be at the line when we come back. Lead is at 15 right now. Jacoby Coles with a big dunk on the other end, stretches it out. 11:25 to go. 57-42. TCU leads it here over the Sooners. Back after this timeout. A word from Lon Smith Roofing.
Dallas-Fort Worth Roofing Company. Lon Smith Roofing is one of America's top 25 roofing companies and has been serving the DFW Metroplex for nearly 50 years. From our humble Fort Worth beginnings in 1974, we have grown our company with the simple formula of a commitment to excellence. Our founder, Lon Smith, believed that no matter how good we are, we can always do better. Lon Smith Roofing is committed to providing the finest Fort Worth and Dallas roofing products and the most trusted service in the industry.
If you're looking for the definition of service, I'm sure Sewell's name is in the dictionary of service.
I don't think there's a person that I've ever come in contact with that works at Sewell that wasn't the top of the top.
There's nothing to compare it to.
They take good care of me. I'm happy to drive a Sewell.
Sewell Automotive Companies, a proud supporter of the TCU Horned Frogs. Visit us at Sewell.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
11:25 to play here. The second half. Horned Frogs up by 15, 57-42 here. Frogs led by 14 at the half. 45-31. Remember, Oklahoma without three players. John Hughley, Javian McCollum, Rivaldo Suarez unavailable for the Oklahoma Sooners in this one due to injury. Horned Frogs sitting at 20-11 on the year, 9-9 in conference play. By the way, Frogs have three teams that are 11-1 in the country right now. You got men's tennis, you got beach volleyball, and you got equestrian, all doing well. Beach, by the way, is ranked number 5 in the country. They're at the Florida Atlantic tournament this weekend. It's part of spring break. Not bad down in Boca.
I love that they have that tournament during spring break. You can probably get bigger crowds out there for the event.
Yeah. All right, the Frogs here are getting it done on twos and free throw line here in the second half. Colin, they've yet to take a three here in the second half.
Yeah, no, it's sitting at 6 and 12 still for the game from three-point land. Obviously, they have been shooting the ball very well, but if they keep attacking the basket here, like, why not? Emmanuel Miller has been the guy doing most of the damage here. He's got 6 points here. 6 points here in the second half on 3 made baskets.
19 for the game for Emmanuel Miller, who's got 8 rebounds as well, 3 assists. And 23 minutes worth of work. He returns to the floor along with Micah Peavy and Chuck O'Bannon, Jacoby Coles and Jameer Nelson. This is kind of the lineup you see often late in games for Jamie Dixon.
Yeah, you got a good mix of your best defenders, but then also you had the scoring component with Jacoby Coles out there, who's obviously a sneaky good scorer, and obviously led this team in scoring for the first 7 or so games before starting to deal with a little bit of plantar fasciitis, but still very good offensive player.
Darthard makes the free throw, 76% free throw shooter, 2 of 3 for the line in this game. Second ever. Right through there. 57-44. It's down to 13. It's the pressure to backcourt coming from Oklahoma now. Just to slow him down a bit, Darthard picks up Jameer Nelson. Nelson walks it across with a left-hand dribble, gives it off now to Miller, who had set the screen and scores.
Great pass from Nelson. It's anticipated where Miller was going to make that cut after the pick and roll there, and just lays it into him. Perfect pump fake and an easy lay-in for Miller.
11 minutes to play. Hughes in. High post catch now to Godwin. Godwin gives it up here to Moore. Moore in traffic on Coles with the left hand. Got it.
That's a tough finish there with the left hand there for Moore. He's trying to put Oklahoma on his back right now and do all the scoring. He's up to 12 points and 9 boards, so he's having a nice game. Struggling a little bit from the free throw line, but he's going to be the one that has to do all the scoring for him, it looks like.
Started his career at Georgia Tech, did Jalen Moore, and a foul out front here. Darthard trying to eliminate that pick and roll. It was successful on the last possession for the Horned Frogs. He was hanging on to the jersey of Emmanuel Miller from behind him.
Sometimes that's the only way you can stop Emmanuel Miller. Ernest Uday coming back in the lineup here. That's a very good sign for TCU as he exited with a little bit of looked like an ankle tweak, but he's back out here again now. Looks a good sign for the Frogs.
O'Bannon inbounds. Nelson with the basketball now. Jameer swings it right. Miller for three. E-man misses. Uday board. Back out front. He'll clear it out. Nelson, nice look for Miller for the lay-in and a foul. Jameer could have easily taken that three, but a quick glance down low. He sees Emmanuel Miller wide open. Oklahoma closes late. Miller able to convert on the deuce and is fouled. And an opportunity for a three-point play thanks to the foul there on Sam Godwin.
Yeah, great job by Nelson, of course, finding Miller down there low, and Miller just continuing his onslaught offensively here. But guys are doing a good job of finding the hot hand, and Miller's certainly that hand right now.
61-46, make it 62-46 now with 10:20 to go. Loose hand now to Godwin.
That's Miller's third and one here in the second half alone.
Godwin had it knocked away. Peavy comes up with it. Micah in traffic, stumbling in a trap.
That's probably the right call because I think Peavy was looking to extend that arm and push off a little bit to get some space. He just kind of had it in a weird spot with Uzan running back with him. And I think if he would have just hesitated a little bit and let Nelson get back into it and turn it into a 2-on-1 instead of trying to just take it all the way himself, probably would have resulted in a layup for Nelson on the other side.
62-46 right now. 9:59 to play. Out front with it. Works Oway. Oway right-hand side. And this one, another turnover for the Sooners. It'll come back to TCU. Oklahoma having a tough time hanging on to the basketball right now.
Peavy coming right back and making another big defensive play for the Frogs here. Did a nice job with Oway getting him off his dribble there and makes him throw it ball out of bounds.
Here's Peavy. Gives it up now to Jameer Nelson. Frogs up 62-46, 9:48 left in this ball game. Here's Jameer, puts it behind his back. Pressure comes from the backside now. Darthard off to O'Bannon. Chuck gives it out front now to Peavy. Peavy to Miller. Oklahoma stays in the man-to-man. 16-point margin. Frogs taking a little time off here. 10 on the shot clock. Nelson looking for Uday. Step back, 14-footer. No. How about that follow for Ernest Uday? Johnny on the spot, and the Horned Frogs go up by 18 again, their largest lead.
Man, I got to tell you, I love his effort on the offensive glass. He is consistent. He's always going to that offensive glass, and even if he doesn't get the rebound, he's making Oklahoma work hard for those rebounds.
Jamie Dixon was trying to get a timeout, but he got bailed out by Porter Moser. His team's up by 18. But Porter Moser takes the timeout instead. 9:19 left in this one. 64-46. It's a full timeout taken here by the Sooners. We'll take it with them. Back we come courtside after this local timeout of the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, everyone. This is Chauncey Franks with TCU Fellowship Christian Athletes. I want to invite you out to our TCU FCA Night of Champions banquet. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from coaches such as Kurt Sarlos, TJ Bruce, Malcolm Kelly, Mark Tomadol, and others. But the highlight of the night is hearing from our student athletes the impact FCA is having on their life. The banquet is April 25th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Program starts at 6:30 in the indoor practice facility. Go to tcufca.org for banquet information.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
Hi, everybody. It's John Denton for the Flying T Club. You know, college athletics is an ever-changing world, and the Flying T Club is keeping TCU ahead of the curve. The Flying T Club is the TCU name, image, and likeness collective, helping TCU student athletes make a positive impact in the Fort Worth community. Whether it's making big plays or enhancing the Flying T Club's support of local charities, TCU athletes are making a difference on and off the field. Get on the team today and make your tax-deductible donation at flyingtclub.com. Let's keep winning at flyingtclub.com.
18-point margin in this ball game, 64-46. TCU leads it here on Oklahoma Stations. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield. Ryan Estridge, Colin Boddicker, our producer engineer is Blake Jones here courtside. Ryan Clark has the con back at the studio. Colin, you're stuck with me here in Kansas City. Not a bad spot, by the way. The weather here is perfect. In a city that really rolls out the red carpet here for the Big 12 championships. But you could be with Angie Larkin of the women's golf team this weekend. They're in Tucson.
A nice little tournament. Tucson in March as well.
Nothing wrong with a little golf in Tucson, is there?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, of course, Arizona will be a part of this league in the future, so watch Colin stack his club somewhere in the chart.
It's either that or ship sticks, right?
Exactly. Or just do like me and rent them, right?
Or rent them.
Yes.
They don't always have extended clubs.
No, that's
for
true.
The rentals.
That's right. 64-46 right now, 18-point margin. Sooners with the basketball after they take the timeout. They have 2 remaining. The Frogs have 3 left. Out front with it is Godwin. Godwin working on Uday. Gives it up here inside. Always running one-hander as they go. Godwin gets the offensive rebound. Uday blocked it out of there. Here comes Nelson back the other way. 2-on-3. Leaves it off to the trailer. Peavy spotted for 3. Short. Tapped away by Miller, but into the hands of Uzan, who's going to take it now for the Sooners. Pushes left. Peavy, quick hands, knocks it away at the Sooner bench. It'll stay with Oklahoma with 8:55 to play. Here in this second half of the Frogs up 18 right now, 64-46.
But Uday didn't just block that shot. He made Godwin eat that ball.
Yes.
He was on top of that one.
Out of the top with it now, Oway. Looks left, gives it Darthard. Darthard back now to Godwin. Godwin's back Oway. Goes baseline, lost the handle on it, a reach-in foul here on the Frogs. You got Miller there, and it's going to be on Emmanuel Miller. Miller's going to be whistled for the personal, and that's going to be his second. Team foul number 7 on the Frogs, and now Oklahoma to the free throw line. It'll be Oway. Ortega, 64% free throw shooter.
I know Emmanuel Miller picks up the foul there on the defensive side here, but you can't say enough good things about him offensively, especially tonight. 24 points on 9 out of 12 from the field, 5 out of 7 from the line, 8 rebounds. Just having a tremendous game here for his first Big 12 game this year, or Big 12 tournament game this year.
Oway knocks down a pair of free throws to give him 10. He's the second Sooner in double digits. Jalen Moore leads him with 12. 8:33 to play. Jameer Nelson out front. Again, the Frogs content to run some time here with a 16-point margin.
That's okay. You don't want to get too cute, though.
No. Big screen from Uday. Jameer, they clear it out for the 3 for Nelson. He scores it. Nice job there by Ernest Uday. And the Frogs go up now by 19. This their largest lead of the game at 67-48.
Unless, of course, you're going to get a big screen at the top from your big guy and walk right into a wide-open 3.
Here's Uzan with it out front, working on Nelson. Frogs in a man-to-man. Godwin rolls out of it, feed it off golf in the corner now to Darthard. He'll fire 3 and answer. Let's trade Arthur.
That's his third make now in this game, so he's certainly capable of filling it up as well.
67-51. I'll be honest with you, I did not appreciate Ernest Uday before he's been out those 5 games. With his return the last couple, he is a difference maker out there, Colin.
There's no doubt about it. He's just bringing a different energy to the game as well.
Yeah.
Setting good screens, making the defense really fight for rebounds.
Nelson loses the handle and somehow recoups, kicks it off to Peavy. 1 on the shot clock, let it go off the glass, didn't hit the rim. Shot clock expires, a lot of contact. Godwin and Peavy knotted up in the lane, no call. And now,
Peavy's getting the short end of the stick on some of these calls right here.
So. Keith Kimball and Jamie Dixon visiting. Godwin a little slow getting up. There's a timeout on the floor. Oklahoma will have the basketball. 7:20-3 to play in this ball game. 67-51 right now. It is a 16-point TCU lead. A timeout on the floor. Back we come after this local word here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
The TCU Frog Club brings generous and loyal supporters together in support of more than 500 Horned Frog student athletes. Frog Club donors help TCU athletes reach their fullest academic and athletic potential through philanthropic investments in scholarship, the TCU Endowment, capital projects, and our sport-specific groups. Become a Frog Club donor and gain exclusive access and premium benefits. Memberships start as low as $100 per year. Visit tcufrogclub.com to join today.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive. See why over 28 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
67-51, the Horned Frogs up by 16 right now. Oh, the Oklahoma Sooners, Frogs have turned it over 12 times, 13 team assists with 24 made buckets. Frogs getting it done on the defensive end in this ballgame. They forced 16 turnovers by Oklahoma, and Colin, they've taken those 16 turnovers and turned them into 18 points.
Yeah, and the difference being that those 12 turnovers from TCU have only resulted in 5 points for Oklahoma. So TCU, even when they turn the ball over, are doing a nice job recovering, getting back on defense, and not giving up easy baskets on the other end.
And as well as the Horned Frogs shot the basketball from the perimeter in the first half, they've scored 30 points in the paint in this game.
No, they've done a great job. And I mean, listen, a lot of that is Manuel Miller. He is just exerting his will down low right now. Cuts to the basket. 3-and-1s here just in the second half alone. He's having a great game with 24 points and 8 boards at this point. Of course, we already mentioned he had 27 and 9 the first time these two teams played, so he looks like he's on pace to eclipse that even.
3 Frogs in double figures. Jacoby Coles has 11, 10 for Jameer Nelson, and that 24 that you heard Colin mention for Emmanuel Miller. He's got 8. Chuck O'Bannon's got 7. Ernest Uday with 5 points and 4 boards, but a lot of things he's done in this ballgame won't show up in the stat sheet.
Yeah, no question. We talked about it a little bit before the break there. He is just relentless going to this offensive glass, but he's also setting really good screens and getting guys wide open shots in the half-court offense. He's been a difference maker, and it's a guy that, I mean, you can see how much the Frogs missed. In the 4 games that he did not start and play, the Frogs went, 1-3 in those games, and it shows that he's a very big part of this team, and when he's healthy, the Frogs are a different team.
67-51 right now. Horned Frogs with a 16-point lead. Sooners with the basketball out of the timeout. 7:23 to go. Use hands with it. Frogs a little light pressure to backcourt. Jameer Nelson will pick him up as he brings it down the right-hand alley. Milos takes it all the way to the baseline right, sends it cross court, corner left. Darthard had it blocked by Miller. Out of bounds, they say, off of Caden Cooper, who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He wasn't expecting Darthard's jumper to come up 6 feet short.
Yeah, and that was because Miller got up and got just a fingernail on it. He was able to get the block in.
Here's Nelson, swings it corner left, now to O'Bannon, back out front, it goes to Micah Peavy. Peavy backs it back out. Again, the Frogs content here to shoot this late in the shot clock. 6:53 to go, 10 on the shot clock right now. Nelson looks at the screen from Uday, who rolls out of it, lob dunk. There it is again.
Well, if we were wondering, that ankle is okay because he jumped off that left ankle as well to go get that one. Frogs had that play set up out of the timeout, ready to go.
Jay's been there all night. Here's Oway with it out front now for Oklahoma. Crossover, takes it to the right-hand side, lost it, regathers, gives it up now to Moore. Jalen Moore in traffic, bumped by O'Day, swats at it, can't get it in the foul. Here's going to be whistled on Ernest Uday. Jalen Moore is going to get credit for the bucket. Ernest Uday knew he shouldn't have done it as soon as he did.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the play just before that, though. I don't know how you can drive to the basket, put 2 hands on the ball, lose control of the ball, and then go tap it. It is effectively a pass, and you shouldn't have been able to touch it. Should have been turnover going back the other way for TCU.
Can't pass it to yourself.
Can't pass it to yourself.
Checking out as Uday. In's going to come Jacoby Coles now for the Horned Frogs. Ernest checks out with 7 points, 4 boards in 15 minutes. Free throw line, Jalen Moore. Missed it. Look at O'Bannon flying through, grabbing it with one hand.
Man, I think he thought he was going to kiss the rim on that one. He just came out of nowhere to snag that one.
69-53, 17-point margin.
You really felt like he was suspended up there for a minute, didn't he?
16-point margin, I should say. Here's Jameer Nelson looking for Miller back out front. It goes now Coles. Entry to Emmanuel. Can't handle it. Ooh, and a foul here. They get bailed out as Darthard was over the back of Emmanuel Miller. Now, Jamie Dixon upset with Coles on the pass.
That's the second time Coles has tried to make that pass. The first one he got it in there, and Miller was able to hold off. The exact same scenario with Darthard picking him up down low, Miller down low on the block. But he needs to make one more pass to the wing to make the entry pass easier.
Inbound's going to come here to Miller. Miller baseline right. Emmanuel Miller puts it on the floor a couple of times, 3 times. Now turns, jumper, missed it. There's Coles, opportunistic for the rebound. Peavy out front now to Nelson. Jameer, 6 on the shot clock. Back it goes now to Peavy. 5 on the shot clock. Out it goes now O'Bannon. Deep 3, Chucky, baby, in and out. Rebound taken out of there now by Oklahoma. That's Caden Cooper, that freshman we talked about.
Well, I thought that one was going to go down for Chuck right there, right on line. Just unlucky with the in and out.
He deserved it. Here's Usan out front now to Oway. Oklahoma not in a hurry. Down 69-53 here to the Frogs with 5:30 to go. Usan works out front on Micah Peavy to the free throw line. Spins left, spins right, flips it with the right hand. A soft touch. Got it.
Boy, that was a tough shot. He was able to get it to go down.
You can tell it's a big game here at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Postseason has begun. Dwayne Broussard, the Frog assistant, has his glasses on. Here's Jameer Nelson pushing it into the forecourt and is fouled on his way in. Jameer with a strong move to the rim that time. Let's see who they get this one on. Looks like they're going to call it on Moore, and that's going to be his 4th. Jalen Moore. Break for the Frogs. Now Nelson to the free throw line.
Getting Ernest Uday right back in this game as well. He's been such a difference maker. Might as well close him out here.
Free throw good for Jameer Nelson. O'Bannon and Coles check out as Trey Tennyson comes back into the TCU lineup. And Ernest Uday returns. Oway sits for Oklahoma as Godwin's back out there. Second free throw here for Jameer. Leads at 15 now. Make it 16 as he made them both there. Jameer Nelson, perfect for the free throw line of this ball game. Will check out as Avery Anderson's going to come in for him. Jameer leaves with 12 points in this ball game. He's got 5 assists. Does Jameer Nelson. And just 1 turnover.
Good opportunity here for Trey Tennyson and Avery Anderson to get some positive things going here for the Frogs.
Emmanuel Miller commits a foul. They reach around, I think, here. Yes.
Yeah, it's probably a good foul. He was beat going on a cut to the basket.
Jalen Moore now gets to go to the free throw line for Oklahoma. The clock stopped with 5:04 to go. And the Frogs up 71-55. Free throw's good for Moore.
Jalen Moore now 6 of 11 from the free throw line. Just a really tough night for him from the line, considering what he usually shoots there.
Moore's free throw now. 71-57, 14-point margin. A little pressure going to be applied now. In the backcourt by OU. Frogs are going to substitute Uday out of there, bring Jacoby back onto the floor. Tennyson baseball pass, and he put too much on it. He did. And Jamie Dixon can't believe it. And again, I'm not sure Tennyson's the guy you want throwing that in bounds.
I think he's too tentative with his passes a lot of times. I think you still want Peavy throwing that ball in. We haven't seen Trey Tennyson make a baseball pass the length of the floor all season long. That was his first one, and sails it out of bounds there.
5:04 to go. Inbounds comes Godwin. 71-57. Still plenty of time left in this game. It's a 14-point ball game. With it on the floor is Usan. Kicks it right-hand side. Jalen Moore. He'll take it baseline, step through, feed Godwin off the glass, score it. 71-59. All of a sudden, a 12-point ball game with 4:48 to go.
Yeah, Frogs don't want to keep just running the clock here. Keep running your offense. You're getting good looks and making buckets here. So keep the pressure on. Make OU defend you here.
Jamie Dixon's going to take a timeout. He's going to get one of the under 4, but he knows the importance of this possession here. This may be to substitute a couple of guys in. Let's see. 71-59. We've talked, though, Colin, about the struggles in late situations for the Horned Frogs. They've seen leads disappear. Here, up by 12 with 4:35 to go. Jamie Dixon wants to do all he can to make sure that doesn't happen in this game.
Trying to remedy that for sure, and getting Jameer Nelson, your best ball handler, back in the game here, who's having a nice game with only 2 turnovers in this game.
71-59, 12-point TCU lead.
Excuse me, 1 turnover.
A couple of updates for you. Temple and UTSA in the American Athletic Tournament going on in Dickies Arena at Fort Worth. All of us, that's a tight game, 57-54. The Owls lead the Road Runners with 2:55 to play in that one. Xavier leads Butler by 3, 46-43 in the Big East Tournament. That's with 15:50 left in the second. Don't forget, coming up later on here in Big 12 Conference play, Kansas State and Texas play at 6 o'clock tonight. That's next here after this ball game. And then Kansas and Cincinnati in the nightcap. Right now, though, with 4:35 to go, 71-59, TCU leading it here on Oklahoma. With the basketball, and they get Jameer Nelson back on the floor for Trey Tennyson. Nelson with it. Jameer in traffic. Looking for some help from Peavy. Bounces to it. Peavy back out front for the shot clock. Peavy looking. Anderson mishandles, grabs it, forces a jumper. It's an air ball. Doesn't hit the rim. And you had the timeout, and you don't get a shot.
Yeah, Nelson penetrated all the way down to the block, didn't get anything, and had to pass out of it, and that kind of put TCU in scramble mode. Nelson gets that low. He needs to make a decision to either go up with that or find a teammate who can get a shot right away. TCU just didn't have the time left on the clock to really run a set there after that.
Uday in for Jacoby Coles, 71-59, 4:15 to play. As dominant as TCU has been, this ball game, folks, is not over. Left-hand side with it. Steal here. There's a quick hands of Ernest Uday, and then he is fouled by Uzan. And you've talked about it multiple times, Colin. You think his hands are some of the quickest in the Big 12, able to come up with a steal there. Now we'll go to the free throw line.
It's actually remarkable how fast they are, because he gets his hands on more balls than any big man I think I've maybe ever seen.
Free throw line goes Uday. Ernest, first one, going. Uday, big free throws here from the big fella. 2 of 5 in this ball game for the free throw line is Ernest Uday. He's got 8 points to go with his 4 rebounds. Second effort here. Made them both. How about that? 73-59. Lead goes back to 14 with 4:06 to go.
Talk about a guy with a stat line that doesn't look as impactful as he really is on a game. It's remarkable how he can impact the game without necessarily filling up that stat sheet.
Uzan. Ernest ran out at him, able to get back defensively. Goblin's got it now. Uday stays with Goblin. Off it goes now. Owe around Uday for the lay-in. Didn't get any help. 3:40 to go.
It's a tough ask to guard all the way out there on the perimeter, and you got to respect the three-point shot, so he had to get all the way out.
73-61. 12-point ball game now. 3:29 to play. Nelson works between the circles. Jameer gets a screen from Ernest Uday. To the elbow in traffic with the right hand. Laid it up, missed it. Rebound. Godwin now. 12-point ball game. Oklahoma with the basketball. Going baseline is Darthur. Feeds it off down low. Put it on the floor. Loose there. Possession arrow, though, I think. Did he get a timeout? Let's see. Nope. This ball's going to come TCU's way. Lost the handle on it. Did Owe. Went to the floor. Frogs tie him up. And a timeout here with 3:07 left. Frogs will have the basketball when we get back. 73-61 right now. 12-point Horned Frog margin. Back we come after this timeout. A word from Home Zone Furniture.
To be made in Texas means quality. And at Home Zone, we're proud to create furniture with premium materials, upgraded features, and stylish designs, all at the best price. And yes, made right here in Texas. Visit us today for incredible store-wide savings and 48 months with no interest, no down payment, and no minimum purchase. Our non-commissioned team makes it comfortable to browse, plus enjoy free ice cream while you shop. Visit us at any of our 13 DFW locations today. Home Zone, Texas-born, family-owned.
The
passion, the tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Big 12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/Big12Sports.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
3:07 to play in this ballgame. 73-61. Horned Frogs lead it by 12 right now. We welcome you back to the T-Mobile Center, Kansas City side of the Big 12 Championships. From now through 2031, announced earlier in the week by Brett Dormar. Frogs 12-point lead here over Oklahoma. If you're wondering about the Frogs' success in the Big 12 tournament, all-time TCU is 7-11 in Big 12 play. Jamie Dixon, by the way, is 5-7 here in tournament action. Overall, at the T-Mobile Center, he's 7-7. Frogs are 9-11 all-time here in this arena. Oklahoma, on the other hand, is 24-23 all-time in the Big 12 Championship. Frogs shooting 41% from behind the arc, is slightly above their average in Big 12 play, which is tops, by the way, at 39%.
Tops in the league. They don't necessarily take the most or make the most, but percentage-wise, they are shooting at a really good clip. One of the best three-point shooting teams that TCU's had in recent memory.
24 tonight for Emmanuel Miller, 12 for Jameer Nelson, 11 for Jacoby Coles. Those are the three Frogs in double digits. 4 players in double digits for Oklahoma. Jalen Moore leads them with 16. 12 for Darthard and Owe, and 10 for Uzan. Backcourt pressure applied by Oklahoma. Peavy's got it right now. 3 minutes left. Peavy gets it across the timeline with Cooper on his hip. Gives it up now to Jameer Nelson. Frogs in the half court now, leading at 73-61 with 2:50 to play. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Here's Nelson off. It goes to Jacoby Coles. Back to Jameer. Screen's going to come from, that's Jacoby Coles losing a handle on it here. Never really touched it, though. That ball was kicked away, I think.
Yeah, I think Nelson just lost the handle on it off his big toe.
Here's penetration now. Uzan off the glass, score it. And a foul here on the Frogs with 2:31 to go. And that's going to be the 4th on Emmanuel Miller and puts the lead at 10 now with Uzan at the line to try to make it a single-digit game.
Yeah, body language on OU's bench a lot different than TCU's right now. TCU's been coasting for a lot of this, it feels like, this second half. Keeping that lead around 14-16. Now it's down to 10 with a chance to go to 9.
Uzan's a 71% free throw shooter. Missed it, and a rebound down to Jacoby. Oklahoma's going to look back at their free throw shooting and view that as a missed opportunity. They've missed 10 of them tonight.
There's no doubt about it, plus the 18 turnovers they have as well. It's TCU content to run some clock here, but you want to still stay somewhat aggressive.
Peavy feeds it off now to Emmanuel Miller. He's got Owe on his hip. Miller in the lane. Owe pushes him, and that's going to be a foul here. And I think Oteka just kind of lost his footing there and leaned into Emmanuel Miller. I think he thought Miller was going to go up with it. Now to the free throw line, we'll go to Emmanuel Miller to try to add to his 24-point total. Miller in this game is 5 of 7 for the free throw line. 1-on-1 situation right now. We heard Brett Smith, one of the 3 officials here. Free throw good for Emmanuel.
Miller just added to his total here. It's up to 25 points now. And I think you were right. He won't come out and say it, but I think he is playing with the chip on his shoulder.
I know he was. Yeah, he thought he should have been a first-team player. I thought he should have been a first-team all-conference player, just based on consistency.
No question about it.
Knocks in that free throw. He's been in 2 digits now, 20 games in a row.
That's an incredible stat. It's really difficult to do.
Uzan, step back 3. Got it. 75-66, a 9-point ball game. Quick timeout taken here by Porter Moser. Leaves him 1 with exactly 2 minutes remaining in this ball game. Oklahoma's not going away. Undermanned without John Hughley and Travion McCullum and Rivaldo Suarez. Porter Moser's team's got some fight left in them. It's a 9-point ball game, 75-66.
Yeah, hanging around. TCU now they're gonna get a full court press here from OU, but TCU's gonna have to execute their press break here. Make sure they get the ball. First of all, let's get it inbounds and then get it across the timeline. Run your offense. Don't just stand out here with the ball up top and run all the clock down. Get good shots and convert, because if you have an empty possession on the offensive side right here, OU goes down, hits another 3. Now it's like, yeah, it's just
get tight.
It's real tight, and it's down to a 6-point game with a minute 30 to go. Like, OU doesn't even have to foul yet. They can still just play straight up defense.
75-66. Timeout. The Frogs will have Jameer Nelson along with Micah Peavy, Chuck O'Bannon, Jacoby Coles, and Emmanuel Miller as your 5 on the floor here for TCU. Oklahoma with Uzan and Darthard, along with Caden Cooper. Oway. And the inbounds comes to Miller. Frogs with it. Nelson brings it up now. 1:53 to play. It's a 9-point ball game. Frogs have led by as many as 19. Nelson content. Taking his time here. O'Bannon ran through. Now he's going to run through again, I think. Nelson kicks it off to Chuck. Chuck extra pass corner right now to Peavy. Peavy back to O'Bannon. 5 on the shot clock. Chuck bounces to Nelson. Nelson 3. Nelson backed up. Fires the jumper. Doesn't get it. Rebound Oklahoma. Sooners have the basketball. Minute 26 to go. It's a 9-point ball game.
TCU's got to still keep that defensive intensity up here.
Here's Uzan, who's been the man here of late for the Sooners. Out top he works around O'Bannon. Takes him on the dribble. Into the lane. Steps it back out. Darthard to Oway. Oway over Peavy. Forces it and scores. 75-68, a 7-point game with a minute 4 to play.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. Peavy was all over him. Double team coming on Nelson. Nobody's paying attention.
Nelson is fouled by Darthard. Foul here on Oklahoma is their 10th, so Jameer Nelson goes to the free throw line for a pair.
You're at the point of the game now, up 7 with 56 seconds to go, going to the free throw line for 2. If TCU can make their free throws down the stretch here, that should be enough to seal this game.
Porter Moser disagrees with that call by Jeb Hartness. 57.7 to go. 2 free throws here for Nelson. First one good. 76-68. It's an 8-point ball game now. Coles checks out. Uday's in.
You mentioned it earlier. Nelson, nice seeing him knock down some free throws, up to 6 out of 6 from the line here.
13 points for Jameer Nelson to go with 5 assists in this game. Made them both 77-68. 9-point game. Quickly in the forecourt with it is Uzan. Uzan looks for a screen. Uzan kicks it back in the corner left. Now Moore. Miller with a big block there, and Nelson able to come up with it. Jameer outlet to Emmanuel Miller in the forecourt. Wise enough here to slow it down with 41 seconds to go in the Horned Frogs up by 9. Trying to hang on here against the Oklahoma Sooners. Looking good right in.
Yeah, Porter Moser just pushed his guys back. Not going to foul here. Content to let this clock run out.
Steele out front. Oway comes up with it. Peavy and Chase fouls him. And fortunately, he got his money's worth. That could have been a 3-point play, which is the last thing you needed with 22 seconds to go.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing I don't like. I understand Peavy trying to contest that, but that's a dangerous play for both players. And the last thing you want is something to happen to Peavy going up contest that shot. Also, they just shook hands. Of course, it was a nice contest from Peavy. Wow, we just saw the replay. 2 tremendous athletes going right to the rim with each other, but awkward landing for Peavy. He's unable to, unable to get the finish.
Free throw good for Owe. Uday checks out, Coles is in. Always get another opportunity here with the clock stop with 22.3 to go. Make this a 7-point ball game. Makes it 77-70. The timeout taken here by Porter Moser with 22.3 to go.
The Frogs should just be able to get this ball in bounds. If OU doesn't get a turnover, judging by the fact that Porter Moser called off the Dogs a second ago, I think he's going to try to get a steal here. If he gets it, great. If not, call him off.
You think so? You don't think he fouls?
I don't think he fouls.
I mean, you've got it down to 7.
I totally agree. I think I foul. Why wouldn't you foul with 55 seconds to go?
Coaches don't foul anymore. It drives me crazy.
I agree. Extend the game.
As long as
college kids, and especially college kids, right?
Yeah, especially with an opportunity like this where you know what's on the line.
I agree. All the bracket projections have OU kind of on that 9 line right now. So if they lose this game, they're likely still in, but maybe they slip to a 10. Maybe they even slip to an 11.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's a clear path to a Sweet 16.
Right, but you don't want to count on that.
You don't want to count on that. Of course you don't want to count on that.
I told you at the beginning, I'm all about insurance for assurance. I want some insurance knowing it assures me of getting in.
Listen, you got your leading scorer, staying or getting healthy, getting ready for the NCAA tournament. You can come in at a 10 to play a 7 and then maybe get a 2 in the second round. Your odds are better for a path to advance to a Sweet 16.
All right, out of the timeout, let's see. 77-70. 22.3 to play. Peavy will inbounds. He can roam that in line. Owe will stand in front of him. Quickly gets it in to Jacoby Coles. Moore is there. Oklahoma trying to get the steal. Coles gives it up now to Emmanuel Miller with 16 to go. Wow. Oklahoma not fouling. Waves the white flag to the Sooners, and the Horned Frogs, with 6 seconds to go, are going to come up with a victory here in round 2 of the Big 12 tournament. Get to advance to take on the number 1 seed, the Houston Cougars, tomorrow. Jamie Dixon's team with a 7-point victory here today over the Oklahoma Sooners. 77-70, the final score. TCU wins it here over OU. Well, what'd you think of this one, Tom?
Taking advantage of OU being down 3 of their guys, of course, but you only get a chance to play who's in front of you, right? So I thought TCU's defensive intensity, especially in the first half, was the difference in this game, and OU ends up with 18 turnovers. TCU not that much better with 16, but it's still enough to get the job done today.
77-70, the final score. Horned Frogs win this one for their 21st on the year. Our wrap-up show starts next after this local timeout here on the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield.
Since the late 1890s, TCU athletes who excelled in their sport have been awarded the Block T letter as a symbol of success, and today the tradition continues. If you're a former TCU student athlete, the Block T Association is looking for you. The Block T Association brings former TCU athletes together in a number of programs and events, including the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame, mentoring programs for current TCU student athletes, team reunions, and our famous football tailgate parties. Get on the team today at blockt.tcu.edu.
Hope Farm is an after-school mentoring program for boys growing up without a father at their home. From elementary school to college or vocational study, our boys discover a home away from home at Hope Farm. Fatherless children account for 71% of all high school dropouts and 85% of all children who show behavior disorders. Hope Farm believes there is positive potential in every child and provides intentional programming that includes mentoring, academic study, and a hot meal every day after school. Find out more at hopefarmfw.org.
Hello, everyone. This is Chauncey Franks with TCU Fellowship Christian Athletes. I want to invite you out to our TCU FCA Night of Champions banquet. You're going to have the opportunity to hear from coaches such as Kurt Sarlos, TJ Bruce, Malcolm Kelly, Mark Tomerdahl, and others. But the highlight of the night is hearing from our student athletes the impact FCA is having on their life. The banquet is April 25th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Program starts at 6:30 in the indoor practice facility. Go to tcufca.org for banquet information.
Hi, everybody. It's John Denton for the Flying T Club. You know, college athletics is an ever-changing world, and the Flying T Club is keeping TCU ahead of the curve. The Flying T Club is the TCU name, image, and likeness collective, helping TCU student-athletes make a positive impact in the Fort Worth community. Whether it's making big plays or enhancing the Flying T Club's support of local charities, TCU athletes are making a difference on and off the field. Get on the team today and make your tax-deductible donation at flyingtclub.com. Let's keep winning at flyingtclub.com.
On the Horned Frog Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the TCU Wrap-Up Show.
77-70, the final score. TCU wins this one over the Oklahoma Sooners. Frogs made it a little tricky in the end. TCU led this game by as many as 19, but OU, late in this ballgame, held the Horned Frogs to 0 of 5 from the floor. In fact, they only made one of their last 7. They went 646 of this game, the final 646 of this game, without a field goal to TCU. Oklahoma closed the gap down, but they did enough to hang on for the 7-point victory here, Colin.
Yeah, they did. Knocked down their free throws down the stretch. Ended up 20 of 26 from the line. Good for 77%. You'll take that every day of the week, I think, in this game, and especially making them down the stretch here. Jameer Nelson did a nice job stepping up, knocking them down, and Emmanuel Miller as well.
Yeah, 7-point victory here. Now they turn their attention to the Houston Cougars coming up tomorrow. The number 1 seed is Houston, and we know the Frogs knocked them off the first time, but this one will be a little different.
Yeah, so not only that, you're going to get a little revenge factor coming in here for the number 1 team in the country, who's not just the number 1 team in the country, but probably the hottest team in the country as well. Ended up the season 15-3 in Big 12 league play, and we all know how difficult the Big 12 was this year. So Houston, a big challenge for this Frogs team tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 o'clock tip for that one. Our airtime will be at 1:30. Coming up next, we'll talk through some highlights from this ball game. Got the scores from around the country still to come. But first, we'll get the numbers for you. Run down the stats. Colin will have that when we continue with our wrap-up show after this timeout. The Horned Frogs win it here, 77-70 Oklahoma. They win it over Oklahoma. Back after this from Lon Smith Roofing.
Dallas Fort Worth Roofing Company. Lon Smith Roofing is one of America's top 25 roofing companies and has been serving the DFW Metroplex for nearly 50 years. From our humble Fort Worth